Okay, I need a bit of game.
Apa sih? Ngapain sih? Lipstick.
Yeah.
Let's do it, baby.
Look, worst comes to worst, right? There's honey here. Let you
Alright.
put on your lipstick, right?
Alright, come on.
Alright.
Come on.
I already record that
Tell
one.
me,
Yeah.
tell me,
Oh,
Oh,
dekat
yeah.
Am I doing it well?
This should be the intro.
Right there.
This should be the intro.
Yeah.
Am I doing it right?
This was really
Is this the death of democracy? What's happening here?
Oh, I got some on your teeth. Sorry about that. I need my left hand, but I'm
Aman
not
ka,
left-handed. Jesus.
Mana?
Okay. Hey man, this is not the death of democracy in Indonesia. This is the death of the Indonesian identity. We are now slaves to the Chindo princesses. That's me guys, man.
Oh my god. God.
Okay.
Aduh mau lihat fotonya.
Aman.
Did I do it right?
Kalau dia bilang aman.
I don't know. I need a
You
mirror.
better check. You better check.
I need a mirror. Okay, yeah, we're fine.
Whoa.
We're fine.
Oh wow.
We're fine, guys. You did it.
Bruh, you underestimate me. I dated a girl for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly.
Mm-hmm. But you can't tell which one's lipstick. Where's my lip gloss? Where's my lip gloss? Get it for me.
God,
Get
man.
it for me. Get my lip gloss for
How
me.
did your exes
How my exes deal with me?
deal with you?
Well, that's why they're my exes. They didn't.
That's weird.
Wow.
Okay, so this is supposed to be lip gloss. right?
Yes, that is supposed to be lip
Alright.
gloss. I can't believe we're getting this
Sorry,
on camera.
Mr. Jovial.
Jovial's entertained. I know.
I love it.
Do you ever put? Have you ever done Kaja's makeup before?
I have and she hates it.
Don't fuck this up,
How
man.
am I supposed to do it?
All right, come on.
Tap tap tap.
Tap tap tap.
Wow, even he knows.
Oh wow.
Lo sering apply?
Huh?
Lo sering apply?
Yeah.
Okay, come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, where do I start?
I have sister, I have mother, and I have a
Okay.
girlfriend.
This is where
Oh,
I'm
I see.
supposed to start. Oh, shut your ass up, come on. I'm trying to do a good man's work right here. I'm trying to do a yearning man's job right here, and you're not making it easier. Did I get some in your teeth? Am I doing it right?
Peter, help me.
Okay, I think I did it right. Did I do it right?
I love that.
Menunya.
Yes.
Are you
Menunya.
like intentionally do?
Oh, in the G show, that's Jovial.
Wow,
Udah.
look at that.
Oh, udah.
Siapa yang buat ini tadi? Chefnya langsung buat ini.
Chefnya.
Terlalu baik, terlalu baik.
No, you did it. You did it.
I did it.
Ain't you glad you on the show today?
Dude, I'm. Holy shit, let's go.
Crazy.
Let's go.
Crazy. Ain't nobody else out there doing it like me, bitch. Ain't nobody. Ain't no fucking body.
Damn.
Thank you, Kaka. And we don't do intros.
You don't the fuck intros, dude.
Exactly.
Guys,
You should do it now.
What?
no, dude, screw intros.
So what's up, guys? Cabs.
Oh shoot! That's my old ass intro from way back.
Oh.
my god.
Show us how it's done. Show us how it's
Holy
done.
shit!
So what's
you
happening?
have to say.
No. So you have to become Andovi. Andovi says, "So what's up, guys?"
So what's up, guys?
And I'm like, "Upper Cubs." That's what.
What?
that's actually the tone.
Oh.
That was the proper tone.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
So what's up?
No, so Andovi does it a little more. You know, he has more energy. Like, "So what's up, guys?
So what's up, guys?
You Upper Cubs." Walk down memory lane.
The role of government.
Okay.
Relating to freedom of expression, freedom of speech, as well as the fact that Indonesia is technically a democracy.
It is.
Technically
Is.
is, right?
Yeah.
Even though we don't act like it.
Or
We don't act like it, but we
she
are.
said that, guys. Don't arrest me.
Don't arrest me. Don't arrest. Allegedly.
Y'all out here arresting people.
Allegedly.
right? Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But relating to the topic of freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and relating again to the fact that Indonesia is a democracy, what in your opinion should be the role of government relating to these things?
Ooh, that's tough.
I told you to do your homework.
That is tough, man. Like they should really just pass out the right regulations and the right laws. That's the only thing they can do.
But according to you, what does the right laws and right legislations look like?
Oh shoot.
I told you to do your homework, boy.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, you told me. Let me talk about what I think they're doing right now.
Okay.
This is what I think.
Allegedly.
Because they're not open, right? So I have to get, as a citizen, I have to guess what they're doing. They're not telling us what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you've been this long in the game, I guess you can guess a few things, right?
Yeah.
Some educated guesses.
Yeah.
There's a lot of surveillance going on.
Mm.
Damn.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Bro, just keep saying allegedly. just keep saying allegedly and we're good.
Dude,
We're good.
Okay, so this happens in a lot of governments, right? When something big is coming up in the country, for example, like elections.
Yeah.
You want to know what the people are actually thinking at the moment, because you need to get into their heads and convince them to vote for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or in Indonesia's case, vote for the one you want to win, right? Because Jokowi's not doing a third period, right?
Yeah.
But his son is going for the new vice presidency, right?
Political dynasty. Yeah.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay, so in order for them to still retain power, which is a thing I think you put in the pointers as well,
Yeah.
a lot of surveillance needs to be done. You need to read what's happening in the space. You need to read, like, I won't say they went as far as reading people's personal WhatsApps, but they know the overall, I guess, atmosphere of the Indonesian people.
Yeah.
So they know what to hit on. They know what messages to bring across in order to win elections. And I don't think that's right, because fundamentally we're supposed to be able to think for ourselves.
Right.
But if our mind is constantly manipulated by things they intentionally put on social media, then we're not actually thinking for ourselves. They're actually doing the thinking for us.
Right.
And then we think we're making these choices.
I can see how the devil's advocate to that would be, like, where's the fine line between what you are saying versus marketing yourself and campaigning yourself.
I love how you just went straight for it. I love it. So I think this is where the biggest sin is. And this is where it all started. It actually all started in marketing. Let's say you wanted to buy an Adidas shoe. This is so that Adidas can, sponsor these episodes. Right? Let's say, right? You know what usually happens, right? Let's say you just browse online. You want a Adidas superstar.
Right.
Next thing you know, on your Instagram, Adidas ads will pop out. You'll see more feeds of people wearing Adidas. And that's just for a product. This doesn't usually happen. This also happens for politics. So they read your phone. Whether you like Ganjar, whether you like Prabowo, whether you like Anis more. And then they can see, I can get to the details of that.
Right.
And then they'll just give you more of that. Going back to democracy, right? Oh shit, our first course is here. Damn. They know we're going to talk serious stuff. They're like, we're going to fuel you up. Right?
No, exactly. Like, you'd be surprised, like, when you have these sort of, like, heavy conversations for, like, 2 hours or 3 hours on end nonstop. Like, you get hungry.
You do.
Yeah. Oh, these are so good. Have you had these?
It's a cheese fondue, but
Yeah.
like with chicken chorizos.
Yeah. Ah, so good. Thank you, Kaka.
Terima kasih ya.
You were saying?
I have absolutely no idea what I was saying. Because when the food came out, I was just focusing on this.
You blacked out the moment you said
I know.
cheese fondue.
Save some from me.
Okay.
Marketing and manipulation, there's a very thin line.
Yeah.
Because in marketing, right, you'll end up just buying an Adidas shoe. What does it do? It probably just, it drains your bank account. You're minus 2 million or whatever the shoe costs, right?
Yeah.
But in politics, it's deeper than that. Because you're not just minus 2 million. You are tricked into choosing a leader of a country that will run your country for 5 years. This is not a single purchase of an Adidas shoe. So I am so passionate about this stuff. Like our data should be really protected. Have you ever read any of Yuval Noah Harari's books?
Sapiens.
Homo Deus, and then there's 21 Lessons of the 21st Century.
Only Sapiens.
Only Sapiens, yeah. But there's a very interesting line in there that said, if you look at someone's likes on Facebook, the past 300 likes, you can know that person, or the algorithm can know you better than your parents know you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because when you like something on Facebook, right? This is way back. People are like, what's Facebook? It's TikTok now. I get it. This is studied in 2016, guys. Okay, guys, come on. This is studied in 2016. Once you like start watching things in private and start liking things in private, those are your like most inner, deepest desires.
Yeah.
Right? That's who you are.
Yeah.
And once you can get the real data of your past 300 likes, you can actually map out what that person is actually like. And this data back then was actually given or taken or sold, I don't know whatever the term is, to election companies. So they know what every single individual user like.
Cambridge Analytica.
Cambridge Analytica. You know your Cambridge Analytica.
I keep up with shit. I keep up with
And
shit.
I really want Indonesians to know about this.
Do a lot of people not know about Cambridge Analytica? Facebook and the U.S. elections?
Yeah.
They don't know about that.
And not just the U.S. elections, it's everywhere. It's
I see.
a lot of countries. Yeah, they work in a lot of countries.
I only knew about the whole Cambridge Analytica thing pertaining the U.S. elections, but
And people should really watch. There are great documentaries on Netflix on this. Social Dilemma, that's one.
oh, I love Social Dilemma. Yeah.
And also Great Hack, that's another one.
Okay, I'll add that on the list.
Yeah, they should really watch that. And so back to your point, right? It's actually very bad because, look, in a democracy, there needs to be a level playing field. There should be just numerous amounts of open information that you can access so that you can make a conscious decision, a conscious, rational, wise decision on who should be the next leader of your country. But once all of that information is manipulated, how do you know that's the right choice? And I'm not discrediting Prabowo 58%, none of that. It's the system as a whole. We're not choosing on, it's not a fair game.
Right.
It's not a fair game.
Right.
So is it actually a democracy? Because a democracy needs to be a fair game for everyone.
I think I would almost be in favor of sort of like a quiz that every single citizen is required to do, and like basically what is it called? It's like what we did in the United States, like for freshman orientation. They have us do like online courses on like, this is how you measure like 8 ounces of alcohol, and like you have to do this and that's protection like before having sex, and like all of these like sort of courses that kind of like give you the basic preliminary education of like what you need to know before you head to the polls and vote. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
No, I see it.
Right.
So you educate people first,
right,
before they make a conscious decision.
Exactly, because here's the thing, right? I always argue that the thing about democracy, in order for a democracy to work, democracy is contingent upon every single citizen receiving equal quality of education, which also refers to equal distribution of information and knowledge, right? As in to say that everybody's educated the same way, everybody knows all of the same things.
Or they should be able to have access to it.
Access to it, yeah, exactly. And that's the issue with democracy, is that pulling from Socrates and Plato here, because Socrates and Plato were kind of, they were anti-democratic, right? They were against the idea of democracy because they were saying that, and I'm sure you've heard this before, of like, why should the masses, the uneducated masses, be able to make stupid decisions on behalf of the people that are educated?
Exactly. I like how you're putting it. Like, this has been thrown out a lot, and I guess you know this.
Yeah.
The average IQ of Indonesia is 78.
Yep.
You've heard this so many times. I've tried advocating this everywhere so many times, and
how did that go?
that should be a problem. It is a problem, right? But people should really consider this a serious threat to our nation. The average IQ is 78. What that entails is, if your average IQ is 78, critical thinking is not a part of just how you think every day.
Right.
And you really can't process complex information. Let's step out of politics for a second. Let's go to Indonesian entertainment. Okay? Why do you think our entertainment at 6 o'clock is always about someone falling in love, someone cheating on someone, someone murdering someone? Because it doesn't require complex thinking to understand that type of storyline. Someone falling in love, whether you have a 50 IQ or a 150 IQ,
Yeah.
it's still falling in love, right? But let's talk about Queen's Gambit, Netflix. Do you watch that?
Oh
The
yes.
chess show.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I watched it.
Let's put that on Indonesian TVs at 6 o'clock. Let's see the ratings for that.
Netizen kayak apaan ini film?
Exactly. Siapa yang jatuh cinta? Mana? Kok cuma cewek main catur?
Iya. Cewek seharusnya nggak boleh main catur. I'm kidding. You can imagine somebody say that. You can imagine somebody say that.
So one chess champion actually said that.
One chess.
Really?
Oh yeah, Clash of Champions.
Yeah, si ini ya,
Ya.
Kasparov ya.
Ya.
Oh no, Clash of Champions beda dong. Itu yang show ruang guru dong.
Itu siapa
Iya.
bro?
Cuma ada yang cewek kan satu kan yang pakai hijab siapa Shafiera.
Iya.
Gue pernah dengar yang ini.
Terus komennya, Mbak, mendingan belajar agama sama ini kan ujung-ujungnya juga jadi ibu rumah tangga, ngapain ikut lomba matematika. Gue nggak mau punya anak pinter-pinter kayak gini.
I just-
Ujung-ujungnya jadi wah. Ya makanya anak-anak pada goblok, ibunya goblok.
I just know. No, I'm sorry. This is so petty, but I just know the man who left that comment. I know he's so ugly. I know he's ugly. No, I know
You
I
can
know.
say that as a fact.
Yes.
Okay.
I know he's ugly. He gotta be ugly.
Ada yang cewek juga maksudnya.
Oh, that's a different topic. That's internalized misogyny. But if it's a man commenting that, I know that his bitch ass is ugly.
Our entertainment, right? It caters to people of the average IQ of 78.
Yep. Unfortunately.
We're just talking about entertainment here.
Yeah.
We're not talking about politics, right? Let's say a candidate has a great vision for the country,
Yep.
right? Whatever he wants to do, he tries to explain it to the people, he or she. They won't understand. The average IQ is 78. You have to dumb it down,
Way down, brother.
right? Like, come on, let's be real. Why was a president-elect dancing the main topic of this election? Because the IQ is 78.
See, this is the thing about what I said. Why you need there's certain prerequisites that you need to meet in order to be able to have the right to vote. It's because I know people that voted for I'm not saying I have a problem with you voting for O2, Prabowo, right? If I can respect the integrity, I said this to your brother, I may not agree with your decision, but I respect the integrity of your thought process, right? If I can respect the integrity of your thought process as to why you want to vote for the guy, by all means, fucking go, right? But if you come up to me, bitch, you come up to me and you're like, I'm voting for him because he cute. Can I get gemoy?
Exactly. It's like you're voting for your favorite entertainer.
Exactly.
You're not voting for your president.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's a different ball game.
Yeah.
And look, this is not a knock on Prabowo.
Oh, none.
Because
Yeah.
look, I like the guy. Speaks French, speaks German, speaks English. Smart man.
Cuckoo.
Look, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He's very worthy to become a president.
Of course.
But the game that was played for this election, in order to choose a president, you have to go to
Right.
seberapa cute this president is. How good is he at dancing? That's you can't live in a country like that.
No.
I was so stressed.
Uh-huh.
And another candidate, right? And this is not to make him look better than Prabowo or not. Anis.
Yeah.
He went to universities, had public debates. I guess you were in one of them. You asked the question, I remember.
I was in Desak Anis, yeah.
I was very happy when that happened. It didn't mean that I want to choose him.
Yeah.
No. But I was like, finally, we're battling ideas. Because once you're a sitting president, you're not being cute for 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to make instantaneous,
Right.
big decisions. And that comes from people who can think rationally. That comes from people who have, they just, kalau bahasa Indonesianya, jam terbangnya tinggi. You've done a lot of things, right? And I really hope that in 2029, we can bring the game back there. Because if we stay at this level, I'm going to say it on your show right now. There's going to be a TikToker with 100 million followers running for president. And people are going to fall for it. Because they're like, oh, we see this guy or this girl every day.
You know what? If you're not going to say it, I'll say it. We fought for that on the DPR, DPD, DPRD level. We already do. The fuck you mean you're out here voting for, I'm sorry, a comedian? As your, apa tuh dia?
DPD.
And I don't have anything against the guy. I'm not talking shit about him. I don't even know who this dude is. But the fact that people just went with him because, this shit funny.
Most recognizable.
Because most recognizable, but also because for the shits and giggles of it, right? Ada comedian, yaudah deh.
Yep.
Kayak gitu doang. Like,
And by the way, he was in my daerah pemilihan. And I really, he stood out.
Yeah.
Because in that ballot, there's like 40, 50 people.
Yeah.
Right? And you see him, you're like, I know this guy.
Right. I'm familiar with him.
But thank God Andovi knocked some sense in. This is shit. Am I praising Andovi? But
Give your brother some love. Come on.
Andovi knocked some sense into me 2 hours before we went to the TPS.
Kajo.
Kajo. Right? And
Andovi apa?
that's Indomie. Okay. He was like, Kajo, out of everyone in DPD ballot, there's this one guy who's been fighting for the rights of disabled people. This is the guy. Thank God Andovi came to me because I was so focused on DPR. We voted for so many things at the same time. Do you have time to study 50 DPD people and what they do? It's very difficult.
It's overwhelming.
Exactly.
I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but like last election season was just like super overwhelming.
Yeah.
Right? And I almost feel like executive branch was already a lot, and then you throw in there like DPR, DPD, DPRD as well. I almost kind of feel like they should be. I almost feel like because you make a valid point, right? Because the thing about upholding democracy is like, again, and democracy, people take for granted the privilege of it, right? No country started off in the beginning as a democracy. Like, that was something that we had to fight for. People before us, they had to die for it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I remember Andovi when he came on my show and he talked about your dad. And how like that was like one of the last things that your dad like really wanted to do, right? Was like to vote during the last, I think the second last election season. And so like it means something. It's not just that, it means something to a lot of people. Like, for example, your dad, who I know, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was very active in like political, political advocacy and all that. And it just, not that it just means something to a lot of people, but it's like a privilege that can as we're seeing right now, can be so easily taken away if we're not careful with it, right?
Exactly.
There's a huge responsibility, and people but people don't treat democracy with the respect that it deserves. That it almost begs the question: then do we get to keep it? Yeah. Because now what we're seeing is, I mean, let's just call it for what it is. We're seeing Indonesia like heading towards an authoritarian country.
Yeah, and let's talk about the broadcasting law that's being drafted, right? The draft of the law.
Right. RUU Penyiaran.
Penyiaran.
What's the update on that?
So they delayed it, right? They supposed to have the meeting for it back in, I don't know, I forgot, probably April or May. Everyone rioted. No, it wasn't a riot. People protested online. So they're like, let's delay it. So they might actually do it on September. That's what I heard, August or September.
It has to be decided by September of this year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just delayed, right? The people didn't win. It's just being delayed right now.
Soalnya lagi diprotes kan di depan Senayan kalau nggak salah, Parliament.
Benar. And you know what the worst thing is? I think from that bill, there's a lot of things on that bill, right? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of very gray areas, like lu nggak boleh bikin konten negatif.
Per whose subjective fucking opinion?
Exactly. It's look, there is an absolute negative. If you stab someone and put it online, that's an absolute negative.
Of course, yeah.
But let's say I'm reviewing Indonesian alcohol so that bule di Bali bisa minum alkohol Indonesia.
Yeah.
And then someone says, oh itu negatif, kita nggak boleh promosi alkohol. What happens?
Yep.
Padahal lu lagi promosin alkohol lokal. And guys, by the way, Indonesia is not just a lot of Muslim people, right? There's a lot of Christian people as well.
Right.
Bali is 90% Hindu. They're allowed to drink. NTT is 90% Christian Catholic.
Yep.
We're allowed to drink. You can't just put a blanket law because most of the Indonesian people are Muslim. That's why drinking is bad. Like if I speak on my province, NTT, we're mostly Christian Catholics. Drinking is not a problem for us.
Buddhist here. Yeah.
So if there's a law bilang kaya, oh, nggak boleh ada konten negatif, and then some NTT kid reviews alcohol and that becomes a problem, I will definitely fight for this NTT kid.
Yeah.
Because you have to really think contextually where people come from, right? It's not just what the mass thinks is good or bad.
You said that one word, context, right? That's the thing. When I was reviewing RUU Penyiaran ini, that's the thing. The main thing that it lacks is context.
Exactly.
The ability to see nuances, right? And how so
Exactly.
much of this is subjective per certain the subjective interpretations and opinions of what you can tell is a certain demographic in this country.
I personally think it's limiting our freedom of speech. And
Right.
look, this is such a two-sided coin, because before people like attack me online because I'm eating and talking at the same time, let me finish this.
Oh boy, you're fine. I do that all the time. They get used to it.
Look, I understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
The power to control people's minds
Mm-hmm.
used to be with traditional media. You go back 20 years, as long as a political party and their coalition controlled a TV station, then they controlled whatever output is getting is broadcasted to the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we talk in that context, how can they control all the content creators spewing out their opinions in Indonesia?
Mm-hmm.
They know they can't.
Like,
281 million people.
bro, okay, a lot of people when RUU Penyiaran came out, like a lot of my followers and my audience members, they were asking me for my opinion. Let me just give it really fucking quickly. The number one thing, forget the infringement upon our freedom of speech. That's a different conversation. It's the fact that you're trying to pass a law where we realistically, as a country, we don't even have the infrastructure to support what you are trying to accomplish. The fuck, how many content creators do we even have in this country? How many are we? Like, we're at 275 million people. Let's say that there are like, what, maybe 100 million content creators like throughout all of Indonesia.
Yeah.
You dead ass believe, you dead ass expect us to believe that you have the technological capacity, the human resource capacity,
exactly.
the human resource capacity to be able to review and approve and revise every single one of our content, bitch.
Exactly.
Like, at least if you're gonna, here's the thing, if you're gonna be authoritarian and you want to pass authoritarian laws, at least make it make sense. At least be able to fucking do it.
Yeah. Back to my point. Back then, you just needed to control Antv, you needed to control RCTI, you needed to control SCTV.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
People got fed the information they want, the people in power want, and then you get chosen again. Now it's very difficult, right, to regulate everyone's opinions.
Yeah.
And they start noticing we're getting smart here.
And they don't
Like, we're
that.
not actually, we don't believe what you say 100%. We can actually think for ourselves. And this is our perspective on what's happening in the country. So I guess they're really scared about that,
You can tell.
right?
Yeah.
And look, I hate that they're really attacking on this part of the law, because there are so many more important laws that need to be passed.
Yep.
There's one called RUU Perampasan Aset. You know what that so basically that is, you can take a corruptor's asset if proven guilty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
But they won't pass that
Of course not.
because it affects all of their friends. Everyone in there is dirty. Right?
Asian value.
Right?
Yeah.
If it's a law that will mess up their friends' lives, they will hold it for like 25, 30 years. But if it's something that will threaten their lives, as in, very thought-provoking content creators with great ideas out there, they're like, you know what? Let's pass this law. Let's shut them up. But look, let me be the devil's advocate here. I'll be the government's lawyer, right? Right? And the government loves this. What I said previously was an extremist point of view, right? Because look, in reality, there are bad content being put out there in Indonesia.
Of course.
Like, there's really...
Misinformation, disinformation are rife.
Exactly.
Fitna. Definitely.
And not just fitna and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, let's say I'm a person, I want to make content.
Yeah.
It's not the right idea. Like, for example, someone had the idea to shower their grandma with lumpur
Huh? Really?
Yeah.
on TikTok.
Wait, really?
Take a flight.
Someone's
TikTok live, and people give money.
to shower their grandma with mud?
Yes.
Mud,
Why?
right?
Because
It's-
people get the
So the more you give them money, the more they will he or she will shower the grandma with mud.
Just for entertainment?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
malam-malam.
Bener, lagi dingin. Lagi dingin.
That is freezing.
Oh,
That is freezing mud.
what the fuck? That's
Look,
abusive.
my 14-year-old self will
Yeah.
consider this entertainment. I don't know
Yeah.
a lot. I don't know a lot about things. I'm not wise.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But as you age and get wise, you're like, holy shit, what the hell is happening?
You start looking at things through different perspectives, right? Like, well, grandma's cold.
The grandma was suffering.
Yeah, grandma.
You can see her face. She wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah, duh.
But
Yeah.
you also know
Yeah.
she doesn't make a lot of money in real life, and she knows that she's making a lot of money from this. So she's bearing through it. She's like, okay, I'll just shower myself with mud.
Right.
But that's just one example. There's so many examples of bad content being put out in the Indonesian content space that the government feel like, oh shoot, yeah, I think we need to regulate this.
But talk to me about what you said earlier on about like an absolute negative, because when you say bad content, right, the devil's advocate here would be bad is subjective, right?
Exactly.
So it's like bad according to who? But maybe in instances like this, what you were saying, was it absolute? There's
Negative,
an absolute negative. Somebody stabbing
someone.
somebody.
Yeah, and publishing it online.
Yeah,
You're like,
Yeah, no, of course.
I got a body today.
Yeah, no, of course.
Right? That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Because I'm just thinking, right, the thing about RUU Penyiaran, like, on the one hand, people would make the argument that this is a very clear signal of exactly what the government is trying to do, which is like to bring Indonesia towards a more authoritarian, we're kind of heading down towards an authoritarian regime.
Yeah.
And then, on the one hand, people would be like, oh, it's so obvious. Like they're not even trying to hide what they're doing, right? But I guess to play devil's advocate here, because like, I mean, the point of this, I just kind of like want to explore ideas, right? Of how, do you think that there is perhaps an element to all of this, RUU Penyiaran misalnya, where it's coming from a genuine altruistic place of these government officials actually caring about preserving the morale? Don't laugh.
Man, let me quote Panji, cut that shit out, right? Cut that shit. Come on.
Yeah,
Dude,
no, but I mean, because
If it's morality, RUU perampasan aset, that's morality.
no, see, and
You
I
should
agree
really
with you.
just focus on that.
No, see, and I agree with you, right? But I'm playing devil's advocate here because I feel like there's something that we can explore of how, do you think perhaps there is an element whereby even though these government officials are misconstrued, but do you think that there's a possibility that it is coming from a place of like, no, I want the best for Indonesia, even though like, they are misguided? Or are you like, nah.
No. Let me give Ganjar's percentage. Probably 16%. That was Ganjar's percentage, 16%. Probably that intention that you just said is probably just 16% of it. Look, 84% of it is censorship.
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? I really don't like it when a huge media is already partisan. And I know they can make the argument that dulu juga TV nasional tuh pro ini, pro itu, pro ini, pro itu. Okay. That's why we're making new media, right?
Right.
That's why we're making new media. Not to become the old version of us. Di mana TV ini jelas untuk presiden ini, TV ini jelas untuk presiden ini, TV ini untuk presiden ini. Kalau kita mau jadi negara yang lebih maju, if we want to be more advanced, more modern, semua orang yang masuk media sekarang, including the Indah G show, I really hope in 2029, you're not partisan. You're not... Look, you will have your choice as my next president. But I really hope that you're still neutral in the middle when you give out information to everyone. So back to my point, to mitigate that this doesn't happen in 2029, they're passing the law now so that there will... Because they know they won. This was I think this was a very important key or element on how they won this time. Just having control of the influencers. They want to make sure that in 2029, the opposition doesn't play their same game. Right? Because now the opposition knows, oh, that's how you won this election.
Right.
I'm going to do what you did. Oh, in 2026, we'll probably see some 100 million TikToker becoming a general. No one knows. Right? Because they're like, we need him on our side. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, this 100 million, let's give him an island in Indo so that when I run, he'll remember that I gave him this island and he'll vote for me and he'll convince all of his followers to vote for me. They know this game is coming up.
Yep.
So they're shutting down the game. And they're planning a different game for 2029. And in 2029, is a scary game. You know why? It's the Gen Alphas are starting to vote.
Oh, yep.
Kids born in 2010, 2011, 2012
Goddamn. Yep.
can vote.
Yep.
It's a different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't studied the Gen Alphas,
Right.
but I know they game a lot.
Mm-hmm. And you think Gen Zs are active on social media? Gen A apalagi?
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think they live on social media.
Yeah, no, deadass. Like Gen Zs, we live on social media, but they live.
They
live.
they have a house.
Yeah.
How do you explain several million people who follows Mr. Beast and skipping toilet?
Mr. Beast just said he might run for president if they lower the age gap.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Thank God he's not in Indonesia, right?
Uh-huh.
Because
Don't
they can do that here.
Don't
They
give
can just lower anything.
Jovial, don't give them ideas. Don't give them ideas.
Oh my God. What if they give Mr. Beast an island in Indonesia
Oh God.
so that in 2027, Mr. Beast will just start promoting that candidate
Gak apa-apa
till
sekalian.
2029?
Gak apa-apa sekalian kita presidennya orang bule aja, gak apa-apa.
Literal feudalism, bro. You give somebody land and now they hold political titles.
Mhm. But I mean, in principle, that is what we see kind of
Exactly.
happening, dude.
Exactly.
It's fucking crazy. And like, I leave room. The reason why I asked you, like, I play devil's advocate on that one is because I would like to leave room to consider that there are. I don't know how many. I don't know if it's most. I don't know if it's very little. But there are politicians that are not evil. That
Yeah, yeah.
are that are
Yeah.
not corrupt, that are
I guess. They know of the corruption, but they don't participate in it.
not. See, that's the thing, right?
Because that's the game.
But I question. I mean, complacency is in the favor of the oppressor.
I guess, but in Asian values, I guess he or she was doing the right thing. In Asian values.
Man, cut that stupid
Because
shit.
look, if they speak out, they'll be, apa sih, di mutasi.
Oh my fucking God.
Right?
This
Tiba-tiba,
is so
lu
triggering.
bukan anggota lagi, lu sekarang kesana aja gitu. Kayak, so, look, they're not doing the right thing.
Mhm.
But if you see the nuance, the context in that particular setting,
Right.
they were kind of doing the right thing.
Oh my God.
Asian values.
No, fuck Asian values. No, genuinely, no. Panji's right about this shit. Like, fuck Asian values, and that's the thing. Oh my God, so I'm so sorry. This is so triggering, but like, cause I'm literally about to film a video with the based Indonesian show Buzzer over here. It's part of this series. I guess it's called Republic Creator, right? And we're talking about modernizing the Indonesia political landscape. One of the points that I really want to fucking make. This is a spoiler. One of the points that I really want to fucking make. I think like there needs to be sort of like a cultural. Like, there needs to be a cultural shift in the way that we approach politics, as in to say, you know how we're very collectivistic? I'm just gonna ngomong kasar here. We're very collectivistic, right? And we're very community-oriented. We're very family-oriented. Honestly, a lot, I'm not saying all of it, right? But a lot of these cases of corruption, I feel like there is an element of like what you were saying, right? Of like, so I do you this favor because we're family, or like we're friends, right? And like you not wanting to, even if perhaps there are instances where they know that they shouldn't be doing it, but they feel obligated because of that collectivistic value. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
I do.
Am I making
The
sense?
Asian values.
Yeah, the
The
Asian
Asian
values.
values. Yeah,
The
yeah.
Asian values. We need to get rid of that in the way that we approach politics, and that is where Indonesia is currently weak in terms of like the personal social culture of the way that we approach politics. It's not family and friends, bro. This is fucking governance.
Exactly.
What the
You said it.
fuck, man? Yeah.
You said it. Yeah. It's not family and friends. Indonesia is not a country run by five. It is technically those people are in power.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Indonesia is just a country for 1,000, 2,000, maybe 10,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
The rest are just in their game.
Yeah.
Right? We're just playing inside their game.
Yeah.
They get to control everything and we just live here. Right? And back to my media point, right?
Yes.
Do you think Andovi and I we chose someone in 2014, 19, and 24. But if you watch all of our rap battles, we're neutral.
Yeah.
We show both sides.
Yeah.
People will say, aduh kalian terlalu idealis. Gak apa-apa lu dibayar untuk support someone. When it comes to the next leader of your country for 5 years, if you're smart enough, if you care enough for the country, once you have that much power in media, I really think you should stay neutral. But then in Indonesia, it's kind of messed up because the average IQ is 78. If you let them decide, I don't know what decision comes out. Right? If our average IQ is 110, better decisions will come out collectively.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Like I always give this analogy like in a football team. Right? You have 11 players playing and also people on the bench and what managers, blah, blah, blah. Right? But let's say you have 10 really good players and just one bad one. Do you think you can win against Real Madrid? That one bad egg, right?
It's gonna spoil everything.
It's gonna spoil everything.
Yeah.
Because it's a collective. It's not an individual sport. And this is what's happening in the nation. Out of the 11 players, I was being nice there. There was not one bad egg. I think there's like 9, right? When it comes to Indo.
Yeah.
So we really, like people in power, people with money, I guess what they need to do now is really just elevate everyone.
Right.
They need to make that egg better, right? Make it a scrambled eggs. I don't know, make something out of it.
If you want to talk about critical thinking, the number one culprit is obviously going to be education and how, I mean, this is a little bit of a different topic, but in brief, I mean, one of the problems with why a lot of Indonesians struggle with a particular skill set that is so crucial in order for you to be able to make it in life, which is critical thinking. You know, there is a large portion of that, at least per my observation and also what I have been told, is because that's not a skill that has been honed through the education system, the local education system here, right?
Which critical thinking, right?
Yeah, critical thinking. Like the simple. Look, I don't know. Did you go to school here? Because
mixed. I went to Denmark as well.
Yeah, but you've had experience in the Indonesian national school system, correct? Yeah, so that means you, out of the both of us,
swasta, not the national.
Swasta's private, right?
The private school.
Private. Okay. Private.
But not.
I don't know. But I mean, see, but you're better to attest to this than I do. In your experience being like in Indonesian swasta school back then, at the very least, like was that a skill that was even honed?
No, there's a lot of just remembering things.
Yeah, exactly, like memorization based, and like it's just the Indonesian education system, and it's not just Indonesia. I want to make it clear before anybody's like, oh yeah, see, Indo-G hates Indonesia, blah blah kayak gitu. Yeah, but it's like it's sort of a thing with Asian education systems where like they train you very well to memorize. They train you very well to become followers.
Exactly.
But they don't train you to think for yourself, to make your own decisions, and to advocate for yourself.
Exactly. Karena I think it's curriculum from zaman penjajahan.
Yeah.
Because the oppressors, right? The penjajah,
right.
They just need you to do the small, simple tasks.
Right. My internal conflict then, it becomes back again to my original point about how democracy is contingent upon everybody receiving equal education. In reality, in a lot of countries like in Indonesia, that is not a reality. And so it begs the question of whether or not democracy is even
attainable.
Like proper democracy without it.
It's tough.
Yeah, right?
It's tough.
At the same time, but I'm not, before I get myself into shit here, like I'm not saying that, oh yeah, fuck democracy, let's just like go authoritarianism. Obviously, like that's not what I advocate
for. That's also messed up.
Yeah, that's also messed up, but it's like, I mean, shit, where do we even go from here?
Exactly, because we're in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Democracy with average IQ 78 is a very tough place.
Yup.
Democracy is a game of numbers, right? It's a game of vote.
Yep.
If the majority votes, this passes. If the majority is IQ 78, what will pass, man? Look, you just, either stupid things get passed, unimportant things get passed, or just the really, really smart Indonesians will keep on controlling the dumb ones to their profit. The most messed up part of that RUU Penyiaran, and I think this is the meat and bones of it, right? Is investigative journalism.
Yup.
Nggak boleh. Jadi when some bad shit is happening in our country, and let's say you're like, let me find out what the real problem is. They'll shut you down.
Like, nope, sorry.
Oh, sorry, you can't find out about this. Let the government handle it. Right?
Trust us. Trust us.
And that happened with Dirty Vote. I don't know if you and Andovi talked about this or not.
We talked about Dirty Vote a little bit over the phone, and I've seen a little bit of it.
Okay,
yeah.
So Dirty Vote is a video that came out a week before the election, or 5 days. I forgot the exact amount of days, right? Yeah. But that video showed many of the flaws of the current regime and whoever they're pushing to go to become to gain power. That video suddenly you can't find it on YouTube. You can't search for it.
Yup.
Something obviously happened there. And look, I can say this. I can confidently say this, that something happened there because it happened to me. So I made a musical called DPR Musikal back in 2021.
Oh yeah, and then it got
Shadow banned.
yep.
And I am so angry till today because that was the most expensive and well thought out video that I've ever made. It was my creme de la creme. Literally, I spent 700 million rupiah making that video. Any content creator with 700 million rupiah will probably buy an Innova, will probably DP a house. I made a video.
Atau judi online. I'm kidding.
Right?
Yeah.
Or they'll probably buy a Rolex and flex it, whatever.
Sanrio collection.
I was like, you know what? These are my last videos on YouTube. I want to just, I want to put out my best work out there.
You want to go out with a bang.
Exactly. I spent 700 million, made a freaking video.
Yeah.
It got 1 million. This video is 36 minutes. It got 1 million views on the first day.
Yeah.
And then it just and then no one can find it on YouTube. I was so angry because I'm like,
Right.
holy shit. The random vlogs that I do where I just, put up a camera and record my life never gets shut down.
Right.
Anything that I just do without thinking, any stupid shit that people record doesn't get, censored. But something so well thought out.
Right.
And like, just I put my life into it.
Right.
They can just kill it anytime.
And it impedes upon your freedom of expression, like artistic freedom of expression as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they actually watch the video and not just read the title,
Yeah.
right? DPR Musikal was about, hey, let's have more people with integrity into DPR. That was it. It's actually a positive message for the nation. So they killed a video
Right.
with a positive message for the nation. How do I not become so emotional when we talk about this country and
of course.
especially RUU Penyiaran?
Yeah.
And that was just DPR Musikal. Dirty Vote. I'm not going to put DPR Musikal on the level of Dirty Vote because Dirty Vote is investigative journalism.
Yeah. At its peak.
At its peak,
Yeah.
right? They really pieced every single instances in the government together and they like pieced something out together, right? But like DPR Musikal is just, it was like a prayer for the nation in the form of art. Because Andovi and I were not really vloggers, like we talk to the camera like, guys, jadi gini. No. I explain my thought process through art.
Yeah.
If they start censoring my art, I mean, you saw Polarisasi.
Yeah.
That's how I express myself. There's not a lot of people in Indo that expresses their thoughts through art.
Through musical, apalagi.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, holy shit, if they keep on doing this, you're right. Every single artistic person in the future,
Right.
they're not going to be able to maximize their potential.
Right.
Because every time they want to do something from the heart, it gets shut down.
Does RUU Penyiaran also apply to the average everyday, like our viewers here?
Yeah,
Like,
anyone.
does it also apply to shit, you can't make dancing TikTok videos because it's promoting promiscuity and shit like that? Like they could say that it's under
Probably if you show skin.
yeah, probably,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like they can take it down for whatever reason, right? Under the
Yeah.
guise of like, oh, you're dancing in a TikTok video. What are you trying to promote?
Negative.
Yeah, it's negative, right? It's negative.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Negative.
The thing that I think a lot of people perhaps don't know yet about RUU Penyiaran, like there's a very strange, and strange, and I really mean a strange emphasis on LGBTQ. Did you notice that when you went through RUU Penyiaran? Like a very specific emphasis on content pertaining LGBT.
Oh.
Of all things. I mean, there's also a bunch of other things in there too, like violence.
Because I guess that's what they consider negative in this country.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't want to turn this into another LGBT debate. Like that's, we don't got a head there.
You did
y'all.
it with Felix Yao, right?
Yeah, I already did with
Yeah.
Felix Yao. Like I feel like y'all can just tune into that one. But as in to say, as somebody who is an ally of the LGBTQ community, this is where it would impact content creators like me, like even content that raises, like let's say like you have a person from the LGBTQ community come on my show and, you know, they're just talking about their experience of growing up as like a gay Muslim man, for example, right? I mean, that would even...
That's a problem.
Yeah, that would even be
That's
a problem.
for the next RUU Penyiaran.
Exactly. And it's just...
Because then they'll say you're inspiring all the other people of your same sexual preference
yeah.
to promote their ideas or whatever.
And it begs the question then at this point that what are we allowed to make content on? Like I keep thinking like what, right? Right, yeah.
That is all right.
Because you and I...
Praising the president. That's why you are so handsome. You dance so well. Mr. President.
Mr. President.
You look good.
You're so gamoy.
Vice President.
No, deadass, like, you know, at some point I was thinking, I feel like Indonesia is trying to head towards China.
Or even worse, North
Or
Korea.
even worse, North Korea is going to be the most extreme version. But
Yeah.
I feel like there's an element to it where, like, do you think, and I think what's interesting is that this is happening in the backdrop of the U.S. versus China, right? U.S. versus China is like happening in the backdrop.
Right.
And I don't know what the situation
Oh, it's not in the
is.
backdrop. It's the drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's all of this is happening in the background of the U.S. versus China like conflict, right?
Yeah.
The transfer of world hegemony, and I feel like maybe perhaps that plays a factor. Because are we siding with China more than the U.S.?
I guess we are.
Economically,
I guess we are.
Right?
And they have so much. They have so much bargaining power. Right? The more a country invests in your country, the more you have bargaining power. And look, China successfully, I would say, in the social media space, took over the US. Before, all of our data was stored in Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Right? Now, all Indonesians are on TikTok. They can really read what a person is like just from their TikTok activity. So China, they have our data from TikTok. They know our spending activities from investing in Tokopedia, Shopee. So they know our social construct. They know our financial power. And also as a country, they invest in so many Indonesian projects. We are bowing down to mainland China.
Yep.
We are.
Yep.
If we're not very careful about this, they're going to become the master.
Right. Also, side note, please don't use this as an excuse to be xenophobic.
It's not. It's
Yeah,
not. It's
yeah,
not. This is about
yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
It's not about races.
Yeah, no, because
It's
a lot
about
of
countries.
people, again, back to like how a lot of people don't.
Yeah. They can't
low
read between
IQ.
the lines. Exactly. Yeah.
Low IQ, they
They're like, yeah.
can't
It's
tell the
about the
difference.
countries, guys. Come on, be real.
Can't tell the difference.
No, be smart.
Yeah.
Be the actual smart people. Damn. That was-
Sorry.
you can't just claim you're a smart person. Just
Yeah. Have you thought about what would happen if this bill gets passed? Like to us, like you. What are you gonna do if this bill gets passed? Because that ass, like, if
What
this
about
bill
you?
gets passed, huh? Me?
What do you? Yeah.
I mean, shit.
You have so many controversial topics that you talk about, right?
Oh, I know. Could they persecute me?
They probably could. Because you inspire people to have the same thoughts as you. And to them, your thoughts are not good.
Negative influence, negative lifestyle.
Influence.
No.
So I guess the Indah G show is only gonna last till September, guys.
Oh, fuck. What's in your opinion, like per your evaluation of the situation,
Look,
what's the likelihood that it's gonna get passed? What's the likelihood?
Oh, shoot.
Because-
that's a good question.
No, see, because here's the thing. When I read up about this, the caveat here is that RUU Penyiaran infringes upon a law that was passed after Orde Baru. I forgot which law it is. I'll put it up on screen. Obviously, I don't know what law it is, but I found it. And basically, there's a law that was born after Orde Baru that basically states that there is no room for censorship, defacing, or prohibition of journalistic work, which includes investigative journalism coverage.
So it's going against that.
It's going against that, and
So
that has...
can MK just not change that? Oh shoot, dude.
Don't give them ideas!
MK can just, let's change that previous law and
This
so
wasn't
you can't-
part. This wasn't part of the
Bro,
script.
I'm just being an Indo citizen, right? I'm seeing what's happening in the nation, and I think it can happen again. If MK can change laws, why can't you just change a simple... That's how many lines? Just 1, 2 lines? Yeah. MK can do things.
I mean,
MK
we've
can
seen
ma-
MK do
I mean,
things. We've seen them do things already.
MK can do magical things.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Hal-hal mystic.
Exactly.
Which is also part of RUU Penyiaran. What the fuck is that even supposed to mean? Hal-hal mystic? Fucking journalista?
You're right.
Hidayah.
You're right.
I'm like, what the fuck is that even supposed to mean? No, but on a serious note, I've thought about it. If RUU Penyiaran gets passed, it's over for the both of us.
I guess it is.
It's right? Right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely not gonna be okay.
Well, you'll still be able to make content, but the ones they like.
Apa tuh? Apa
But
tuh?
the ones they like.
This has been the shadow that's been looming over me. I've had to really think about if this bill gets passed, and of course there is the likelihood that it could.
Yeah.
Like whether through valid legal means or not valid legal means. That's it. Like it's over for the show, right? It's over.
It's over for us.
It's Jover.
It's
Jover, man.
it's over for the Depar musicals of the world for
Say goodbye to
Dirty Vote.
Say goodbye to
Polarisasi.
Polarisasi. Yeah.
Damn, that's my bread and butter.
What are you gonna do?
See,
I'm just gonna.
I hate this because aren't we allowed to express ourselves?
According to the government, no. According to them, it's a problem.
Like, look, it's not my fault that my mom was a diplomat and I was introduced to Scandinavian countries when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I adopted a few of their way of thinking, right? My mom being a diplomat is the work, she worked for this country, right? And then as I grew up and, and developed my thoughts that I think are also kind of wise, I can't speak it.
Yeah.
I have to become a 78 IQ guy in order to be able to speak in this country.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, Indonesia? Like, that's it, man. That's all I can say. And they will frame us as people who hate this nation. That's what they're gonna do. Inda, you went to school. You went to uni in the States. You could have probably worked in the States. Probably had a better life without people changing laws and shit over there, right? People like us, I guess there was a choice and we chose to be here. We're not against the state. We're for progress. But it's like every time progress needs to be made, it's not happening. It doesn't happen.
The root of the issue, I feel, is that when it comes to politics, it don't matter whether you're in Indonesia or the States or wherever. I think the issue with politics is that politics is that one field, don't you think, that attracts the worst negative traits, as in to say it tends to attract a lot of psychopaths and Machiavellians and like sociopaths as well as because I don't know what it is about politics, but it tends to attract these types of people. The same thing with like, you've probably heard this, like a lot of CEOs, like they fit the criteria of being like narcissists, right? Or like psychopaths even. And
Can't say that by my own CEO. I love Narasi. Yes.
Banana, come through. but as in to say, I feel like that's the issue when certain fields that inherently come with positions of power, they attract people of certain, I guess, like personalities of certain.
You fit the job, right? You fit the bill, right? It's
right.
Like,
right. And then, what happens when these people, enter those positions of power, and then obviously, like, ujung-ujungnya they're corrupt, right? They don't care about their constituents or the people that technically government officials, they like to forget that they work for us. They like to forget that, right? So they don't care about the people. They just care about their own pockets. At the end of the day, I feel like this is the consensus, and I feel like this is what is happening. Is like all of this RUU Penyiaran, every other act that we have seen of constitutions being overwritten, being violated, being changed, being violated. It's in order for these people to be able to hold on to power and control.
And the deeper question is, why do they want to hold that much power for such a long time? Right? You were in power for 10 years. Why do you need 5 more? Why do you need 10 more?
Did you ever watch The Hobbit? Did you ever watch?
I did. The series or the movie?
The movie series. The Hobbit. The one with, what's his name? The one.
Lord of the Rings? No, the Power? Rings of Power?
That's Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit. Huh?
Which Hobbit movie?
The first one, the very first one.
Okay, I forgot.
But maybe dragon sickness. Do you remember that part?
Okay, so what's in
Basically, Thorin, when he went back into the castle, because Smog, I think they kicked Smog out, right? And then Thorin, he went back into the castle, and it's like he's surrounded by all that gold and gold, treasure, everything, like literally like probably the richest man in all of whatever universe that was. And the dragon sickness kicked in, where he basically like he started turning against his friends. He started becoming very suuzon, like towards his friends, don't trust nobody, and like he just like it's the greed, like he wants to hoard everything for himself, and like to the extent where he forgets his values, he forgets his promises, like everything. Like
you think that's what happened?
Huh?
You think that's what happened in Indo?
That I think is what happens inherently in politics. Because
Really?
I mean, not all the time. See, because you have to leave room for how. Of course, there are good politicians they're good, honest politicians. They're good, honest people that are in power, and they work their way up towards those positions of power, for all of the right motivations and for all the right reasons. But then, I mean, in reality, like that's not what we're seeing, right? We're seeing all of these people that are Machiavellian, like they thirst for power. They want to hold on to it for as much as possible, as long as possible.
Yeah.
And it's for no rational, logical reason other than it's dragon sickness, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's like modern day dragon sickness.
I also think that it's in the system. So
Mm.
so Indonesian political parties need a lot of money to run. Right? How do you fund it? How do you fund Indonesian political parties? It's by taking money from the APBN the legal way, they say.
Allegedly.
Because, right, if you have a minister from a certain political party, whenever there's a huge project involving 100 miliar rupiah, he'll probably give it to a company that's also from his political party so that they can get some profit and then put the money back to the political party.
Right.
Right? That's what usually happens in Indonesia. So the high cost of the political party and to run one and to stay in power is what makes people want to just become ruler forever. Because once you're president, right, you control where our 3,600 triliun goes to every year. You and the DPR. It should be you and the DPR.
Yeah.
And you just they want to be that guy. Like, I want to be the guy who calls the shots. 3,000 triliun tuh 20% ke sini, 10% ke sini, 5% ke sini. And I really want our next presidents to not see their presidency as a financial project of just allocating 1,000 triliun ke sini, 1,000 triliun ke sini, but just to make people's lives better.
My mother was one who said this. Not me, my mother. If you have an issue, take it with my mother. My mother was one who said this. She said, gotta protect my mother here a little bit. Allegedly, a lot of these cases of, I mean, you've heard cases of DPRDs and DPRs and DPDs, like, basically being corrupt, right? A lot of like, yeah. Government officials being corrupt.
Itu bukan iya lagi, udah pasti.
Yeah, udah pasti, right?
Banyak ya, nggak semua.
So my dear mother, she said allegedly, that the root cause of it is that the financial investment that these people had to make in the very beginning in order to be able to secure the position that they are in was too high, that they have had to allegedly resort to corrupting government money in order to be able to make their ROI, a return on investment.
Okay.
And so I think...
Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this. And so I think, this is the question that we all need to be asking. Why the fuck is it so expensive for you to run for government positions?
Exactly.
Like, even like the most dasar level would be like what, DPRD? Correct me if I'm wrong. Would it be DPRD?
Paling murah ya, mungkin.
And that's like
1 miliar, 2 miliar.
Per
to
run in
I
total,
guess.
right?
Yeah.
Because per bulan itu kayak I think minimum 100 million.
Yeah.
Right? That's what Jess said, right? As for her, but she's like Partai Golkar. DPRD. I mean, I don't know, but that's what she said. Like, she shells out like 100 million a month to run for DPRD. But and I understand. I heard that it depends on like party to party. And like, I understand, now like people are saying, well, no, but now you don't have an excuse because there's Partai Buruh misalnya, Partai Buruh, and you can run for almost free, like little to no, like heavy financial investment. But of course, that's not how it fucking works. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I
Lu
mean?
bakal kalah.
Yeah, exactly.
You will lose because the system is rigged kind of to the people with money.
I mean, I think it's just number one, the system itself is so fucking dirty. Like it needs to be deep cleansed. Like there needs to be like fucking double cleansing up in this
Thanos.
bitch. Like there needs not Thanos. I'm thinking like fucking cleansing balm and then like a foam cleanser and then probably like a sheet mask, like everything, like the whole
Shit,
nine.
it's like a whole treatment.
Yeah, the whole nine. Just give her a spa.
Fuck.
Just give her a skincare treatment. Like
Damn.
like her skin gunky.
Like the system just needs a freaking treatment.
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Double cleanser.
Deep cleanse, body scrub, everything just needs to be
Everything. Luluran. Everything.
Lulur.
Everything, because it's so, number one, the system is so dirty as is, but also you add on top of that exorbitant financial cost that it takes in order for you to represent the people when it's supposed to be the people that represent the people. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be fucking like Chinese, like Chindo Pondok Indah princesses like me running for fucking like DPR, like trying to represent the people. Like, what the fuck?
Look, maybe in DPR Jakarta you can. But if you start running for like DPRD, some province outside, that doesn't make sense. But because you have the means, you go there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like it shouldn't be contingent upon the mean. That's what I'm trying to say. It shouldn't be contingent upon, well, I'm gonna do this because my mom has the capital to like pay for my fucking like campaign. It shouldn't be contingent upon that. It's supposed to be like the people that are, like, I know, and this is so, I could sometimes cry just thinking about this because in my life I know so many people that are just genuinely so passionate about this, and they have the merit, they have the credentials, they have the experience. Like they're down in the fucking grassroots, bro. They know what the fuck is going on. They should be the ones sitting in DPR. They should be the ones like winning DPRD.
Yeah.
And of course, in reality, it's not like that. It's I need tequila. I think you can start there. Get rid of the cost. For what?
Yeah.
Just get rid of the cost. Or at least, look, I understand nothing's for free. But shit, it don't gotta be. Ada satu DPRD kalau nggak salah. I think dia habisin duitnya itu in total like 3M atau berapa?
Itu cuma
kayak
DPRD loh. DPR RI
Itu
lebih
cuma-
mahal.
Yeah, exactly. DPR kan
Wali
bisa
kota
like
gubernur lebih mahal.
DPR, like correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard figures up to like 30 M.
Yeah.
Is that
Quite accurate.
accurate? Is that I've heard figures up in there, bro. 30
DPR.
M. DPR, House of Representatives.
Oh, yeah. Max probably 10.
Eh.
Wali kota tuh baru kayak 30, 20 M.
Oh
Wakil
my-
gubernur tuh 50 M, 100 M.
My goodness. It's so
Gubernur Jawa Barat tuh I think 500 M.
But see, this is also where, and I know people, when it comes to topics like this pertaining to government, people don't like it when I bring up individual responsibility. They don't like that, right? But the reason why the system is this dirty is because you have allowed it to be this dirty. Because a lot of people, they take bribe money, bro. Like, let's just call it like it is. They take bribe money.
Yeah.
Right? You make the system dirty.
Yeah, but what do you do when the envelopes in your house at 3 a.m. You can return it?
Oh, that.
I've never gotten an envelope, right?
Mm.
I don't think they send it to Kuningan.
Mm.
They probably don't send envelopes to Pondok Indah, right? Di Pondok Indah sejuta. What is that, a joke? Like, really? Really?
You disrespect me?
Cuma kayak ada kayak tukang lewat, Mas,
Right.
Pak, ini untuk Bapak aja gitu kan.
Right.
Right? But like they get the envelopes in the morning, 5, 6 a.m. before they have to vote.
I mean, shit, take the money, but don't vote. Don't vote for the person trying to bribe you.
The basic math is whoever bribes the highest will be the most corrupt. It's that simple. Because they've spent too much capital in the beginning, they have to be so corrupt to bring all that capital back.
Oh.
Jadi kalau, look, to all the people yang bisa nggak spill how much you got money in the envelope, which party gave it to you, which person gave it to you, the highest amount will be the most corrupt in the government. It's fun fact. He needs to get that money back. Or she.
Now, see, okay. Don't take me that seriously here, but I feel like if that were to happen to me, if I had all of these like corrupt politicians like trying to buy my vote, they're throwing money at me. I mean, bitch, take the money.
Yeah. People need to survive.
But take the money, but vote for whoever you like. Not based off of like who gave you the most money. You already took the money. Like, you're fine, you know? Take the money.
Rezeki kamu.
And then take the money and then I don't know, maybe ideally do your due diligence, do your research, and then vote for the person who you actually like feel actually represents you and your interests and your values. And then if it just so happens to be the highest bidder, then I mean, then
It can be him or her, right?
it can. It's just, I think it's, again, like what I told your brother in that episode, like the integrity of your thought process, right?
Yeah.
Which is what is severely lacking, not just in society, but also like the backbone of our political and governmental system. It's just, there's no integrity. That's sad.
Yeah.
So, actually, can you talk a little bit about Scandinavia and how they are when it comes to freedom of speech, expression, media, censorship, kayak gitu?
Okay, you want to know how?
What was it like back in
Okay, look,
Denmark?
you need to understand that countries are different.
In terms
This
of
is it. Scandinavia's insane, dude. Scandinavia, on the beach, you can breasts out. That's
Yeah.
very Scandinavia.
yeah. Oh,
If you go
I
to
know.
the beach in the summer, you will see female breasts all around.
Legally, ranah hukum nih, ranah hukum, because of course, like ranah moral, everything's subjective, right? But in terms of when we talk about legislations, when we talk about freedom of expression and freedom of speech, well, they're both the same thing. Must it remain absolute on a legislative level? To you, must it remain absolute? Not really. I mean absolute. Like Scandinavia
No, it needs nuance.
needs nuance.
Exactly.
Absolute.
Absolute will just screw things up. Because look, if we, right?
Right.
Let's say I'm an Indonesian who grew up in Scandinavia, which I am.
Which you are.
And then I took Scandinavian values and did it here. You really can't take an absolute freedom. Like, look, if in an Indonesian beach in Ancol, someone put their tits out, dude, it's gonna be nuts,
Yeah.
right? Or like a guy just sunbathes naked and his dick is out.
Yeah, no, that's actual nuts.
That's
Yeah.
right. In Scandinavian, people are like, oh, that's his or her right, whatever. Let them bathe their breasts or whatever, sun tan their breasts. But here it's a problem. So I mean, it's very hard to take Scandinavian context
Right.
to Indonesia.
But I'm gonna push back against you a little bit here. The thing is, when it comes to freedom of expression and freedom of speech, why there are people, and to be honest, if y'all want to know like where I stand, like personally when it comes to this matter, to be honest, I don't know. Right? I think I used to be more of an absolutionist when it comes to freedom of expression. So I used to be more of like the Scandinavian flavor. But as in to say, like, over the years of doing more reading and doing more research and also just thinking more introspectively about these things, I feel like I'm mellowing out a little bit more on that stance. But the tricky part is when I have to consider how when freedom of expression and freedom of expression, when it's not absolute, right? That means it's a very slippery slope. You see where I'm going with this,
I
right?
know where
Because
you're
it's like you make an exception for one thing to not be able to pass under freedom of expression.
Understood.
And then suddenly you open the floodgates for every single other thing. And that's
Understood.
where it becomes, very, very messy.
Tricky.
Yeah. And see, the reason why in the beginning I asked you like what in your opinion should be the role of government is because when it comes to freedom of speech and freedom of expression, are we so confident to give that authority of decision to these people in government? To me personally, I feel like the government's role is to uphold certain liberties, certain key liberties, right? For example, the key liberty of everybody should be able to get an education, right? Everybody in my ideal world, free healthcare. But I mean, I don't know, is that a thing here?
It's happening.
Okay, yeah, like free healthcare.
Gak free tapi agak murah.
Well, subsidized
Yeah.
by the government,
Yeah.
right? Subsidized by the government. Education
BPJS,
as
shout
well.
out. Yeah.
BPJS, shout out. Even though I don't use it, but shout out. But certain key liberties like that. But when it comes to freedom of expression, like that is entering ranah subjective, and I feel like that's sort of the issue when we talk about laws pertaining to freedom of expression, freedom of speech, when you don't make it so that it is absolute the way that Scandinavia is absolutionist about freedom of speech, right?
Yeah.
If it's to the extent of like you can burn the Bible, you can put the Quran in like the Harry Potter section of the bookstore, you can tits out, balls out, everything, right? Complete absolutionist when it comes to freedom of expression, because if you don't allow that in the books, I'm not talking moral here, I'm talking by the books. If you don't allow that, you allow for exceptions that then trickle down to where we're at right now with RUU Penyiaran. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So on okay, to address that, I guess it should be absolute. we should have freedom of speech.
By the books, right?
So screw this RUU Penyiaran. Don't pass it, right? But I really think, and I got this from Star Wars. I really like Star Wars. We need a council. We do need like a bunch of Yodas.
Like
wise men, women. Why are you laughing? It's not actual Yodas, okay? But like, Samuel L. Jackson, in Star Wars, they had this wise council that can deem something good or bad. Indonesia juga ada MK, but I don't know what's happening there, right?
Yeah.
I really think there should be a council for internet content.
When we're talking specifically about internet content.
But
Or just
chosen, it should not be chosen solely by the government. So the voting process of this council should really involve the people. Like the NBA All-Star, the NBA players get a vote, the media get the vote, the fans get a vote. For this council, it cannot be like Menkom Info. Oh, aku pilih kamu, pilih kamu, pilih kamu. No.
Random selection?
Maybe a random plus the people's vote plus the government's vote. So everyone should have a say for this council. Because everyone has a say. This council really, really represents everyone. Right? So I really think you should have a council for internet content. And they're actually proposing that. But they're proposing that the people should be chosen by, I guess,
of course they
president, staff, and Menkom Info.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
If that is made, I really want to go in there. And they probably will hate this DPR Musikal making Scandinavian guy going into this council. But I will say my point of view will give a nuance to whatever discussions being like they're talking about over there, right? Because if it's all just like people chosen by the mantri, oh God, nothing's gonna get passed.
Please bring on the whitewashed the whitewashed Chinese Indonesian girl, please. I volunteer as tribute. But when it comes to, I guess,
Hunger Games, right?
They came up with the third one, right? With the last
There
one.
is a third one.
There is a third one.
Is there another one?
There's a prequel. Prequel series, yeah.
It's coming out?
God, I'm so...
It's already out. It's starring President Snow when he was still a teenager.
God,
What?
I'm so
Where is this?
behind.
Netflix?
No, it was in the movies. It was in the cinemas.
Oh wow!
God, I'm so behind.
I didn't watch that. I really like the Hunger Games.
Yeah, man.
I really like the Hunger Games.
It's literally like a Tumblr fan fiction.
We're literally living in Hunger
It's a
Games.
Tumblr fan fiction, yeah.
In Scandinavia, is TV and well, maybe not just television, but like media entertainment censorship, is that like a big thing in Scandinavia?
Nope. And to be frank, when I was there, 2003, 2008, one channel on national TV every 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock showed porn. National TV. Okay, that's one. This is Denmark. Guys.
Like porn? Like porn?
Like porn. Hardcore porn.
Like, porn?
Yes. 12 to 5. Okay.
Really?
Two of the main national newspaper, every day, page 9, or every Thursday, show a picture of a naked girl. So
Why?
they're like the chosen naked girl of the week.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
Wow. Is that still a thing?
You guys can Google this online.
What do we Google?
Or maybe the page.
Oh, what's the
Extra Bleu. That's what it's called.
goodness? How do you spell that?
eb.dk.
Okay.
That's the website.
Okay.
But people were speeding down this road. This is a very stupid thing they did once. People were speeding down the road. They're like, how do we make people not speed down this road? So what they did was they paid a naked girl to hold a sign of do not speed. And people actually slowed down to see the boobies. Welcome to Scandinavia.
Wait, is this all of Scandinavia? Is this just Denmark? All of Scandinavia? Like, wait, like
Oh, no, it's bad. Like, movies, nothing is censored. If you watch a movie in Denmark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Indonesia's all censored, right?
Some things are censored.
Yeah. But like, if you see that in real life, it doesn't even matter in the movies, right? Like, like who cares? You can see it in real life.
Wait, but okay, number one, I'm not gonna lie. The part you said about let's hire a naked girl so that all these people like slow down on the street.
Please Google it, guys. They're all Googling it right now. They're all Googling it right now.
I believe you, and I would like to say I understand the
It's a stupid idea.
It's a stupid idea. But if it fucking works, and you said it works. You said it works.
It worked, but then people they drove too slow. So they slowed down way too much. So it only happened for like a day or two, and then they changed it again.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I hope she got paid well at least.
She probably got paid well.
I mean, shit, if I had to stand outside fucking my titties out, like freezing and shit, like, and I know Scandinavia's cold.
Yeah.
We'll get back to the episode in just a second, but first I want to give a special shout out to one of our major sponsors of this show, Jalin Traksi. Jalin Traksi is basically Indonesian Patreon mixed with Linktree. It's an incredible exposure platform designed to help creators build their online presence and monetize their content. Whether you're into streaming, photography, writing, or any other creative pursuit, Jalin Traksi provides all of the tools you need to showcase your work and build a dedicated community. They offer a fully customizable creator page where you can design your space to reflect your unique style. They also have unique multiple features to support creators, including streaming overlays with alerts and media share options, and a built-in short link feature that directly connects to your creator page. This makes it super easy to share your content on Instagram, TikTok, or any other platform without needing additional short link services. Jalin Traksi is perfect for creators who want to build a subscription-based fan base while showcasing their online presence through their work. It's all about empowering you to turn your passion into a sustainable career. Your audience can get exclusive content or early access content by paying to subscribe to your Jalin Traksi account, or they can financially support you and your work by donating money directly as well. Just as a side note, of course, the Indah show also has a Jalin Traksi. Do not subscribe to us on Jalin Traksi, because if you want early access content or exclusive VIP content, then y'all know where to go for that one. But we use Jalin Traksi as a way to receive financial support from all of our OGs as well as other kind people on the internet. So if you guys want, you can donate however much money you are able to or willing to in order to financially support not me, Indah personally myself, but the show. And especially all the people behind the cameras that work so hard to make this happen, such as Peter, Tito, and everybody else. Peter just got knee surgery. Hashtag help Peter replace his knee. It's user-friendly, aesthetically pleasing, and packed with features that make content creation and community building just seamless. Check out Jalin Traksi and sign up at the link in the description down below. Thank you to Jalin Traksi for sponsoring this show. Now, back to the episode.
But you know what's crazy? That's like on the very liberal side, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the more conservative side. They're also free to do what they want.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
People always think freedom is just for the liberals. It's for the people who want their tits out. No. Freedom is for everyone.
Okay, I think, because I was trying to gauge, like, where is Scandinavia at in terms of, like, freedom of expression?
Oh, they're nuts.
But they're, like...
They're nuts.
Do you...
They're at the forefront. Like, America's a joke.
But Sandy Hooks from SpongeBob SquarePants, like, her bikini is not censored, right? Bro, on God, that was like the funniest shit that I recently learned, that Sandy Hooks here in like this Indonesian rendition of SpongeBob SquarePants, like when she like gets out of her spacesuit and she's like in her bikini, they gotta censor it because I think they said that it's promoting pornography or something like that. Do they still do that?
Kayaknya udah enggak ya?
Udah enggak ya?
I think you're a bit funny with the name. It's not Sandy Hooks.
It's Sandy.
Hooks
Chicks!
is shooting, bro. It's Sandy Cheeks.
Oh my God! I'm
Real quick.
Yes.
I really thought this was a jagung, was a corn.
Wait, is it not?
It's fish.
Oh.
It's fish, guys.
Oh yeah.
But
Bro,
is there?
this is advanced carbon. You're doing great shit.
But is that corn on top of the fish? Right? That is corn. That's not fish.
That is corn.
That is
On
corn
top of a fish.
on top of a fish. But it looks like corn. But it looks like corn.
I
On
thought
the
it was.
cob.
Look, it looks like corn.
It looks like corn.
No.
That's insane. Wow. I'm so sorry. I meant Sandy Cheeks. I didn't mean Sandy Hooks. Yeah, Sandy Hooks. I don't know why I was thinking that. But Sandy Cheeks. That's the funniest shit that I like discovered recently. That people were telling me how like they censor her bikini. Because they were like saying that it's promoting pornography. I don't know if they still do that with SpongeBob SquarePants these days, even though I don't know who watches SpongeBob these days anymore. What do you think is the purpose of censorship, and is it necessary? And whatever the purpose of censorship is, do you think that is what it's actually achieving? Because I would think the purpose of censorship, I think this is an example of like, you have good intentions, but the impact doesn't like match up.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you might censor things coming from a place of we want to protect the children, we want to protect them from negative influences and all of that, but then in reality, like that's not what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. Censorship is huge, but let's talk about it on a smaller scale. When you were young, your parents censored the amount of information given to you.
My mother didn't. I don't think.
Really?
I don't think.
Your mom just gave you everything.
Give me an example.
Oh shoot.
What? Sex?
They won't talk about their finances or their sexual life or.
Well, my mom's a single mom, so sexual life doesn't apply here. But, okay, what finances? No, my mom talked about finances with me.
Like openly.
Yeah, openly.
We're in debt, 5 billion.
Yeah, I knew that shit.
There's a creditor coming to my house asking for 75 million.
Well, nggak sampai ke kreditor kayak gitu. But my mom was transparent about financial situations and circumstances. Yeah, she was transparent. What else? What's another example? Sex? Probably like.
Yeah, like. What's it called? Sexual education.
I do remember when I was younger. Every time, like, me and my mom, we would watch a movie, and then like, as a man and a woman, they start kissing. My mom would be like, "Look away."
That's basic censorship.
Okay, yeah, you're right. My mom did censor things.
Sama.
Right?
Awkward, and I grew up in Denmark, so it's very awkward.
Your mama was like, I know in Denmark, but no, none of that shit.
Yeah, jadi I grew up in Oslo in Denmark, so Norway and Denmark, yeah. Oslo and Copenhagen.
Pornography. What time you said? 2 p.m.?
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
And to be honest, as a 13-year-old, like, I was like, when is it 12? Because it's so different, right? From Indonesia. Right? But then my mom would come in like, why is he still watching TV at 12 a.m.? Right? I was like, why? This is weird. Midnight.
Did your mama know that every 12 p.m. like there's a... Oh, midnight, you mean?
I think she knows.
Okay.
But she's not out there watching because I'm the only one in the room. So she's like...
You said 12 like daytime or 12 midnight?
Midnight.
Oh, 12 midnight.
Yeah, so that's...
Nah, but if you're up at 12 midnight watching television, your mama know like he's got to be watching porn. Don't ask, don't tell.
13-year-old. Right? People are going to be judging like, Kajo, dulu you watch... It was on national TV. I'm not out here looking on Twitter or some shit.
Everybody's watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, you need to be there.
Yeah, no, period.
It's people like to speak on a certain case happening from their viewpoint without trying to understand the other person's viewpoint or circumstances. Can't really apply everything everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So, censorship. Censorship is good in the case of, hey, let's not see military videos where they shoot people's heads. Because they actually have those videos, right? Have you ever watched that?
As in, who's they?
I also watched that as a kid.
I mean, who's they? Like
leaked military videos. So in the military, you actually need, if you have the footage, you need to send it to the general to show that the mission is done.
Okay.
So let's say you killed like 10 terrorists, headshot all of them, probably machine gunned their bodies. Let's say that happened, they record it, and then they went up to the bodies, record all the dead bodies, show it to the general, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes those videos get leaked.
And then, they upload it online.
Censorship should be applied to those kind of things. And I don't even think that's censorship. That's classified information. Because that should only be for military personnel eyes.
If the argument is because it's private info, it's apa namanya? Not private information.
National security.
Like like an issue of national security, then okay, fine, that's a valid argument. But let's say it's not. Let's say it's not national security. I just want to ask, like, because I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. I'm just trying to challenge you here a little bit. Why? Why should that not be? If that gets leaked out, there's a video of, like, let's say, military fucking beheading somebody. Why?
I think it promotes the act. And it's an extreme act, right? Cutting someone's head off is an extreme act.
Then would you say the same thing?
You dancing on TikTok is not an extreme act.
But then where's the fine line between that and video games then? because a lot of people also make that argument about video games.
What about
how,
video games?
Violent video games that are shooting games, right? That's going to encourage all of these young boys to follow suit and meniru. Then what's the difference?
I don't know. In terms of priorities, I would put the beheading number one. Yeah. That's like the worst
Because
one of them all.
Because you think, again, I'm just pushing back against you a little bit here.
Yeah.
But because you think that, if there's like all these videos of like beheading
military
beheading
shit,
somebody,
yeah.
that people are going to, because they see that online or they see that on the screen, they're going to imitate that act.
Look,
Or
a bad seed will imitate bad things. But there are so many bad seeds here.
I guess.
No offense, bad seeds. No offense.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like when it comes to censorship, I'm not. Okay, how about this? Let's explore this. In what circumstances and scenarios would you be in favor of censorship? Okay, that's one. Like violence, like killing people.
Any like inappropriate gender-related content, like like just catcalling girls.
Oh yeah.
Or like touching random people on the street.
And I guess it's important to note here that, like, of course, like it's different when we're talking about social media like Instagram and TikTok versus like on the Blockbuster, right? Like on cinema, for example.
Because if you pay for a content, there's actually disclaimers before it, right? This content has this.
Yeah.
So you actually paid to watch that. But if it's for free and you just watch someone groping everyone on the street,
right?
That should not be relayed to you. You shouldn't watch that.
And I guess the argument here would be that when you are watching violence on a TV screen, a movie or a TV show, there's context to it, right? Whereas like if it's just like a 5-second, 10-second clip of like military beheading, and it's like, okay, I can concede to that. I think, yeah. What's the purpose of censorship? What do you think is the people and the countries that are like, we need to censor all of these things? What do you think is their intention? What's it for?
To relay the right type of information. Because I mean, dude, these days it's an information bomb out there.
Yeah.
You can get information from us,
right,
from Dedi, from Narasi.
Right.
You can get information from everyone, right? From Russian spies in Bali. Stop watching these videos.
Cut the cameras, that ass.
Stop watching like this Russian village in Bali, really Russian spies in Bali. But yeah, it's from everywhere. And I guess the country wants the people to watch the right type of content.
But you see how that's a slippery slope, right?
It is. It's messed up because their version of right is actually so wrong.
But that's according to us.
You're right.
But that's according to us.
Matter of perspective.
A topic that I am passionate about. This is gonna sound so wrong. Like I'm passionate about pornography, but I'm not passionate about pornography like as in like watching, like consuming pornography or like doing pornography, as in to say just the overall topic of pornography. Like that's always been something that I'm like very passionate about. The point that I'm trying to make here is that when I think about censorship in the context of pornography, like don't you find that if anything, the countries that try so hard to restrict pornographic content, like it just creates a secret underground demand for it more? And that's kind of what happens in Indonesia, right? Of course. Indonesia, actually there's statistics on this. Indonesia, I think if I'll put it up on screen, somebody send it to me. I think we're like number 4 Pornhub, right? We're
number 4 in Pornhub?
As in we're the nationality that we're the number 4.
It's not even allowed, right? We're number 4.
Number 4 nationality that goes on Pornhub and watches porn.
I don't even know what that means. Kode nuklir kakak.
So in hentai, there's one hentai site that people like to visit, right?
Oh god.
And they have like serial numbers there. So in order to get to a specific hentai, you need to have a serial number.
And people say kode nuklirnya kakak.
Kode nuklir, and they'll give you the links to the porn. Damn. Straight up, they give you links to the porn.
I don't know this.
This is street knowledge.
This is how disconnected I am from pornography. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you are totally correct.
There's
always human demand for weird shit.
See, one of the points, actually, like, this is sort of like the essence of what the Indah G show is, because as a show we talk about the things that are taboo and the things
Okay.
that are controversial, right? And
That's
one
why
of
this show's here.
and that's why the show's here. But there's a reason why, whether or not people want to admit it, people listen and they tune into this show. A lot of people, they message me, they're like, I love your podcast, I tune into it very frequently, but I can't tell people, right? Or like they'll say things, for example, like, I'm not outside of the Indah G show, there's also Indah G, who also like is an extension of the Indah G show that talks about very taboo and controversial, sensitive topics relative to Indonesian society that people don't ever want to talk about, right? And people, they will DM me shit like, I love your content, keep it up. Sorry, I'm following you on my second account, because if I follow you on my main one, my friends will see and they're going to judge me for it, right? Stuff like that, right? But there is a reason why the Indah G show, like, the reason why we're able to, like, in many instances, like, become so viral, and there's a reason why behind closed doors a lot of people, whether they want to admit it or not, they tune into this, because the more that you repress something, you create more underground demand for it. That's exactly how it works in pornography, but I would reckon that it works in other domains as well. Like, when we think about freedom of expression in this country and how it's super repressed, to the extent where I think discourse on, for example, let's take something super controversial, religion, right? Open discourse on religion, asking questions or questioning religion or certain religions, for example. And on the surface, of course, like, it appears like we curb the situation, but you have to look at what's happening underground, right? I feel like whenever you make something that is, whenever you make something taboo and controversial, it sort of glamorizes that particular thing in the minds of a lot of people, to the extent where it then becomes unhealthy.
Yeah, the more you keep things away, the more it becomes interesting to people.
The more you restrict, the more they will
It
rebel.
happens when we were kids as well.
Yeah,
You
of course.
don't drink Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
Every time you go to your friend's house, you drink Coca-Cola.
yeah,
You find those sugary drinks,
yeah.
right? My mom used to say, don't eat instant noodles.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I did whenever I went to my friend's house, I was, tolong dong mbaknya, tolong bikin Indomie buat saya.
Yeah.
Saya mau makan.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I asked for Indomie, nuggets, and Coke.
Behind your mama's back.
Behind my mama's back. And you don't think that happens on a bigger scale? It happens. Look, if you restrict me from instant noodles,
Yes.
I'll find it somehow.
Yes, exactly.
Same as porn, same as drugs,
Yes.
same as everything.
Yeah. And that begs the question, is then, if your intention with censorship is, I am assuming that
They'll find it somewhere else. That's what you're saying, right?
they're gonna find it somewhere else. But the question is, if your intention with wanting to censor is that you want to, let's say, prevent children or the youth from being negatively influenced, to perhaps like be drawn to it, right? If that is your intention, is what we're doing right now with censoring everything, creating this underground demand by doing so, like, is that the solution then? I think about this a lot, man. I think about this with pornography especially, because the reason why sex trafficking in Indonesia, which by the way is still a very, very serious issue, and it's very pervasive. Now, the thing with sex trafficking and how this relates to pornography, and actually no, scrap sex trafficking. I'm thinking about NCII. You know what that is, right?
NCII.
Non-consensual intimate imagery. Revenge pornography.
Oh, okay.
Revenge pornography. There is this phenomena here in Indonesia whereby a lot of, it's mostly men and boys, when they want pornography, they want non-consensual pornography.
Oh, shoot.
They
That's
want
messed up.
They want the leaked nudes. They want the super graphic here, trigger warning, they want the rape videos. They want the leaked nudes. They want
Dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's-
No, and do you know where that stems from? Here's why I make an argument for why pornography ought to be legalized, and it's something that is not censored by, because obviously the Indonesian government, they censor Pornhub. You can't just type Pornhub and then it's banned, right? I think this is one of the reasons I make the argument. This is one of the reasons why you got to do it, because if you don't give them access to porn that is legal, they're gonna go for the flavor of pornography that is illegal.
Yeah.
If you don't give them access to porn that is consensual, they're gonna go for the non-consensual
You're right.
variant.
You're right. No argument there.
Yeah.
You are correct. Even Ketua KPU found his porn somewhere, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Right?
Of
Or
course.
he has a girl somewhere.
Yeah.
A SEL minister.
Uh-huh.
I mean, let's not talk about the people. Everyone in government's also doing the
Right.
same shit.
And see, here's the thing where, I don't think it's too far-fetched to imagine that there would be people from government tuning into this right now. And I just, here's
They're
the
always
thing.
watching.
Yeah, they're always watching, right?
Mereka kayak GR banget loh. Gitu.
When it comes to this topic of censorship, especially, and the thing that I said about how I think if you were to allow Indonesians access to consensual legal pornography, that it would reduce the issue of non-consensual intimate pornography, right? There's nothing. The government can do it for free, is what I'm trying to say. It costs them nothing, right? In terms of will it sacrifice your position of power? Will it cost you money? No. Right? And so that's why what I'm trying to get at is, on the off chance, quite likely chance that actually that there's government officials tuning into this, and if censorship is not something that comes at a price tag for you, and if this could be that one thing where you're actually altruistic about wanting to help people and contribute positively to the society, I think you could start with this. But
You think it starts from the porn stuff?
I think it's just censorship.
Okay.
I think it's just in terms of censorship. I think we need to rethink the way that we approach censorship. We need to reevaluate what are we trying to achieve here, and is what we're doing now getting us closer to what we want to achieve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
What about my council idea? Do you like it?
council
9
idea.
Yodas. 9 wise men.
Ooh,
look,
is it only for content creation? Or is it for everything?
Well, it's everything on the internet.
Everything that on the internet.
Even an online ad.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you have an underwear brand and you want to make a sexual, kind of like a sexual ad.
Are y'all gonna have to do this? Imagine, for example, if you're part of the council, right? If there is a council, are y'all gonna have to do this with every single content?
The thing is the one that comes to our attention, right? Wow, I am in the council. No, the one that comes to attention. Yeah.
On the one hand, again, the slippery slope is that this all subjective, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens if, let's say, it's 50-50 yes and no? What happens then?
Like MK, the ketua has to make a decision.
Okay.
Or whatever vote the ketua is counts as 2.
And then, okay. Well, but I don't know. I feel like I would be against. I feel like I would be against that.
I think for Indonesia, it is the best. If they really want this law to be passed, or they shouldn't pass this law.
RUU Penyiaran.
Yeah, RUU Penyiaran shouldn't be passed.
Yeah.
But they
if
should
it
make a
is.
council. Because they have KPI for television.
Okay, I see.
So they should have KPK, Komisi. I don't know what the thing will be called. They need Komisi Penyiaran Indonesia kan?
Uh-huh.
Berarti KPI untuk online, KPIO, let's say. KPI online.
Kapew.
Kapew, pew.
Kapew.
I think they need to have it. And you know what the sanction should be? Here's a crazy idea. This will teach people a lesson. What if you really make a red flag content for the nation, you're banned from social media for 6 months.
It gives people incentive to be on their best behavior whenever they make content.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that? Because to be honest, social media is people's currency these days.
Of course.
Right? It's so you don't have any social power anymore.
Oh, okay. I like this because damn.
Because then when you come back in 6 months, it shouldn't be a forever ban, right? When you come back in 6 months, boom, people are like, I'm not gonna do the same mistake.
It's not a forever ban.
Exactly.
It's not a forever ban, but it's just enough to teach you a lesson on hey, this type of shit is not okay.
Because look, in Indonesia, all online crimes,
right,
they just get away with it. Right?
Right. I think can you give an example of that red flag type of content? Maybe if it's apa ya? Some fucking the Jamet version of Andrew Tate spewing misogynistic shit. That?
Okay, if there's a Jamet Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him a red flag. Like if he tells women are lower than you should control women. Right? That's not right. And he has a cult following believe that women are the lesser gender.
Right.
Yeah, someone needs to talk to that content creator.
I see.
And that's why I think a council is good.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's the law, then the punishment is definitive.
Okay. Right.
In
Whereas-
this council, it's more Indonesia, more musyawarah. You can talk about it's the real Asian values, I think.
I see what you're. Yeah.
It becomes case by case.
Ooh. I think in principle.
Because you're scared of who's gonna be in this council, right?
Yes.
That's I know that's your fear.
Yes.
And the thing is, if it's people that you think are chill, you're like, whatever. But I just need a mix of wise and chill people in there. If it's all wise, then it's kind of stupid.
Even wise and chill are subject to interpretation, as in like it's subjective. Even gauging like who's wise, who's chill, like even that.
Okay. Maybe for content's kind of weird, but look,
yeah.
If we're judging movies, would you trust Tom Hanks to judge if it's a good movie or a bad movie? Would you trust Quentin Tarantino to judge if something is good or bad? Look, as long I think you have the jam terbang in it, you can be in this council.
You have the merits for it.
Exactly. You can't be a random 12-year-old from some random province and I want to be in the council. No, you can't.
I see. I feel like the only way I would be okay with this idea, because I think in principle, I see where you're coming from, and like I'm not against it in principle, but I think it's just in practice, I think it's a little bit like a very slippery. The slope is covered in soap with this one, right? But I think the saving grace would be if there is a way to ensure that this council is really representative of all the diverse walks of life that makes up Indonesia. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Damn, that's a big ass council.
That is a big, and that's a very big ass council.
All walks of life.
But if you have that sort of authority over all of us, then sure, you better have a little bit of all of us in there, no? If you get to have all that authority over all of us.
Okay, and so this begs the most difficult question. Will there be an LGBT pro person in that council?
Oh.
That's difficult. Because of how our country's set up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Is that a rhetorical question, or are you like?
I guess it's rhetorical.
Rhetorical, yeah.
It's difficult to answer.
Yeah. I mean, gak usah jauh-jauh bahas LGBT, like fucking even like getting. I'd be surprised if the council, if this were to come into fruition, like if it would even incorporate like religious minorities or atheists.
Ooh.
Or atheists, agnostics, people that don't, like me, that don't really venerate religion to that extent.
It kind of goes against Pancasila.
Nah, yeah, ito. And
Satu
like what happens?
Tuhan yang Maha Esa, right?
Right, exactly. And then what happens if you are a person that has contentions with the Pancasila, right?
Damn.
I mean, you
You can? Dude, I think to be Indonesian,
Uh-huh.
I really think to be Indonesian,
You being serious here?
yes,
Okay.
you have to respect
Oh.
the Pancasila.
Oh, okay.
Those are the 5 foundations of the nation.
But you can disagree with it. You can respect it, like while it is like still being implemented. But you can disagree with it, no? Or is
You can personally disagree,
yeah,
right?
right.
But you need to respect it. You need to respect the Pancasila. That's what keeps the 281 million people together.
Oh, this is interesting. The word respect. What do you mean by respect? Can you maybe elaborate on that more? I'm going somewhere with this. What do you mean by respect? So when I say, if you say we need to respect the Pancasila, does that mean we have to abide by the Pancasila? Like we have to, like Sila. The first Sila is
Ketuhanan yang Maha Esa.
which in English would be
Holy shit.
the no.
God Almighty.
The full first Sila is
Ketuhanan yang Maha Esa.
Ketuhanan Maha Esa, the full faith of divinity. It's actually in English, I feel like it would translate more towards the acknowledgement of divinity. No,
it's not the acknowledgement.
it's the
Ketuhanan yang Maha Esa
It's
apa ya?
not faith.
right,
Wow, I've never actually thought about the English translation.
right,
It's actually very interesting.
right. So
Apa ya?
let's take the first Sila for example. Ketuhanan yang
Because
Maha
people will
Esa.
agree 2 to 5. Kemanusiaan yang adil dan beradab.
Right.
Everyone like agrees to the 5.
Right, but you know
I get
the first
the problem with a lot of maybe different-minded people open-minded, different-minded people is this number one. That's the problem.
And see where I'm going with this is, what do you mean by respecting the Pancasila? Let's say respecting Sila number 1, which is Ketuhanan Maha Esa, right? What does that mean? When you say you gotta respect it, what do you mean? We gotta abide by it? We gotta...
To abide by it, does it mean you need to be religious? Is that what it means?
Because if you translate it to English, since we're talking in English here, Ketuhanan does not mean
God.
God. It means divinity.
Exactly.
Yes.
Tuhan is God.
Yes, but
Ketuhanan
Ketuhanan,
is like-
divinity. It's divinity.
Yeah.
Ya kan? Correct me now if I'm wrong.
Coba,
Ketuhanan.
a quick Google translate of ketuhanan. A quick... Oh God, I love this.
The interpretation of our Pancasila rests upon Google Translate.
I'm gonna read out the official English translation.
Okay.
There's an official... Dari negara.
Official?
Dari negara.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Lay it.
Belief in the one and only God.
Belief in the
But there's God.
and only God.
There's
and,
God.
And you know what? Controversial here. I personally disagree with that interpretation.
No, belief in the one and only God.
That's the official English translation.
What does that even mean? One and only?
Who's God? You know what? Woo! As agama ka, tapi aku Buddhist ya. Like in Buddhism, that doesn't apply. There's no concept of a deity in Buddhism.
Tuhan,
And in Hinduism, we have Hinduism.
banyak Tuhan kan?
Banyak Tuhan. That doesn't apply. Itu translationnya salah. I personally...
Is that an official Indonesian government translation?
That's the official government translation. And see, me personally, I disagree with that interpretation. I think either what they are technically supposed to, in my opinion, that what they're supposed to mean is Ketuhanan yang Maha Esa. Ketuhanan isn't God, it's divinity. Ya kan? Right? See, I'm not pulling shit out of my ass. It's divinity. Ketuhanan means divinity.
So like a belief in the higher power. Is that what number one is?
No, so but divinity isn't just tantamount to higher power. So divinity includes higher power. So God, like Sky Daddy, but you.
Did you just say Sky Daddy?
Shit in my head. But divinity includes God, but it isn't only limited to God. It includes ancestors, the spiritual realm, angels.
That makes sense.
Right?
If we're talking about the divine.
Yeah, the divine.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Now back again to when you say, because your stance is to be an Indonesian, you have to respect the Sila, the Pancasila. Now, what do you mean by you have to respect it? You have to, what is it? What's the word? Abide by it? Like what in your, when you imagine people respecting it, like what are they doing?
I'm trying to imagine me respecting something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because
can't
think of other people. Yeah, respecting doesn't mean agreeing. I think it's fundamental that it doesn't mean you have to agree. But don't openly fire at every chance you have. At the thought.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what respect is.
Because I've been thinking a lot about the
what is the meaning of respect? Can someone Google that real quick?
Respect. Yeah, actually, no.
Can we Google that?
No, that could be somebody do that right now, please.
Okay,
Yeah.
So respect is noun, a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements.
Admiration. You have to admire it.
So respect is there's admiration.
There's admiration.
That means people aren't like respect. You're not admiring.
Mm-hmm.
Are you admiring when you say respect?
Well, and also, would you guys agree that respect is contingent upon caring, or no?
Yeah.
You would agree.
Yeah, because you have to care about it.
You have to care about it
to respect something.
See, that is a very we're actually getting really controversial.
That's why I said you have to respect Sila number 1.
So you have to care about Sila number 1. See, because the thing is, for me, I don't care about Sila number 1. Me personally.
I love it. This is a viral moment.
This
Take
is-
it. Take it. Right. So you
Throw
don't
me
respect
under the
Sila.
bus. Right. See, no.
Gua rekam sekarang aja, Bay.
Bro, this is your moment, bro.
No. Hear me out here.
Take it away.
No.
Take it away.
No. Hear me out here. I do not. If you say if we can agree that respect is contingent upon caring, then I do not respect Sila. Actually, no. Sila number 1 is really hard to make as an example. So let's use religion. Let's use your religion as an example. You're Christian, right? So
You do not care about Christianity.
I don't care about Christianity.
Damn.
I don't. No. Critical thinking here. No, you're a physicist. Critical
I'm not
thinking
Islam.
here.
I care about Islam.
Why?
Is that insane?
In what?
Because so many people believe that it guides their life. I cannot disrespect it.
But so no, you
I
don't.
cannot disrespect that.
No, so you don't. So again, respect is contingent upon care. You do not
I
care.
care about these people.
No. Let me use your. Yeah, exactly. No, you said it. You don't care about. I'm Buddhist. Do you care about Buddhism? Do you care about Buddhism? Look me in the eye. Do you care?
I like Buddhism.
But do you care about Buddhism? Do you care what it says in my what? I'm Buddhist and I don't even know
Is that-
in my book. Do you care? Do you care?
Apa sih, Tripitaka ya?
Tripitaka. Yeah.
Do I care what's in the Tripitaka?
Do you care? Look me in the
I
eye.
respect it.
But do you care?
Holy shit, in the G. You're gonna...
No.
Hey!
No.
Chill.
Cause
Because I can't lie. I can't lie online. I'm not a politician. I don't lie online.
Yeah, so don't lie to me. Tell me now. Do you care about what's written in my book?
It doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, exactly. So why do you
It
care?
doesn't apply to me.
Exactly. Why do you care?
I respect it. See, I think respect and caring is two different things. The Buddhist teachings doesn't apply to my life. But
Exactly.
I don't hate it. I respect it.
Well, no hate here because you don't just because you don't respect something, you don't care about something doesn't mean that you hate it.
No, okay, so
Right?
I get it because you tie respect and care so closely to each other.
You said in the beginning that respect is contingent upon caring.
I guess it intersects a bit. I
Okay.
don't think it should be fully.
Okay.
Okay.
Cause let me, but to save myself here, cause I'm digging myself a hole. Let me save myself
There's a
here.
huge hole here.
Let me save myself
You
here.
not liking
Let me
Sila
say-
number 1. There's
let-
a huge hole.
Let me save myself here. Let me save myself here.
Yo, this is good.
Your religion, you're Christian.
Yeah.
I do not care about Christianity. I don't care what it has to say. So I don't technically, that's a key word here. Technically, I don't respect the religion itself because I don't care for it. But what I care about is your right to be able to practice your religion. What I respect is you and your ability to practice your religion. I don't care what your religion has to say. I don't care what's written in the book because if I respect the religion, when I respect especially I think you can make the argument that a religion is sort of like a guiding principles.
Yeah.
If I respect it, there has to be a level inherently to which that I care about what it says, and I don't. It doesn't apply to me.
That's why I think the word was admiration. Because to admire something
Right.
is to look. I am not Muslim or Buddhist, but I admire the teachings of it. You get what I mean? Do I care about the teachings of it?
Right.
I shouldn't really care because I'm Christian. But do I admire the teachings of Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam? I do. I guess that's why they use the word admire.
I see.
Right? Because it's to be in awe of a great thing, right? Admiring something. Dude, in my lifetime, I will never be able to write the Quran or the Bible.
Oh yeah.
So I admire the fact that these holy books exist. I probably can write a Harry Potter.
The next
Probably.
Yeah.
It'll take me 5-10 years.
Try 12.
Gotta dig in, right?
Yeah.
Right? But like, I probably cannot write a holy book. It's not within me. So that's why I admire it. It's so out of my reach. By the way, this is very good.
Oh, amazing.
I finished it.
No, amazing. I love coming here. Oh, the avocado.
Avocado.
Oh my God, isn't this? Hold on, no, shut up. Is this not the cutest? And you can eat it.
You have to
No, I'm looking at you.
close.
No, I'm looking at you. No, but see, that's the thing. When I think of respect, when you say you have to respect something, as somebody who
So you respect Sila number one. Okay, because caring, obviously, that's out of the window.
I don't care about it.
Do you respect Sila number one?
If by respect, in the sense that I respect everybody's right to be able to hold on to that as like a important pillar in their lives, yes.
Does it give space to people who are agnostic or atheists? Does Sila number one
Divinity.
give space to those people?
Divinity. So, agnostic, in brief, the difference between agnostic and atheist. Atheists completely reject
No God.
anything to do with divinity.
No higher being.
No, nothing.
No higher being.
No
Yeah.
angels, no spirits, no ancestors, no nothing.
Yep.
Agnostic leaves room. Agnostic is saying, I don't know. Atheist is saying there's no such thing.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Okay.
So, per technicality, Sila number one accommodates
Not
agnostics like me, but it wouldn't accommodate atheists like Chucky Parade. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't accommodate atheists.
Mm.
Yeah, which even I, as somebody who's agnostic, have my contentions with atheists, but I think they have the right to be accommodated, and Sila number one doesn't accommodate to that.
Mm.
Mhm.
No, I was agnostic as well
Mm-hmm.
in my youth.
Mm.
Growing up in Scandinavia, it's like,
Mm.
yeah. But I don't know, Indonesia does something to you. Indonesia is a very strong, Indonesia is a very mystical place.
No,
Indonesia is something
I
else.
understand exactly what you mean, because that's what happened with me when I moved back. I mellowed out on I used to be more hardline atheist. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be,
So from atheist, you went agnostic.
and then I went agnostic.
Oh.
I backpedaled a little bit. Also, I think
So the environment really shapes you, yeah?
I don't know. I don't think it's external influence, because everybody around me like believes in God, or like, you know, like like venerates religion or whatever. I think part of it is also because like growing up and like you face trials and tribulations. You go through turmoil. And when you can't look left and right, you're not gonna look down. You look up, right? I think that's one.
Avocado cheers.
Avocado cheers. But maybe I think when we'll move back, and I feel like you can relate to this one, and I think like Buzzer as well, because Buzzer used to live in Australia, and I feel like when moving back to Indonesia gave us a more holistic perspective, because previous to Indonesia, we came from like the stark opposite. And so when I moved back here, it gave me access to people to relay their perspectives that allowed me to consider their perspective.
Mm.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
I think it's that. That, or maybe something in the water.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. But you should really look at the history of Sila number one. So, fun fact, Pancasila was revised 8 or 9 times. The heaviest revision was on Sila number one.
I can see why.
And you should see
Contentious.
in like draft number 3, 4, 5, 6, you read what it's written as Sila number one.
What did it say?
Ketuhanan Yang Maha Esa. Please, I don't want to misquote this. Sesuai syariat Islam.
Oh!
That was Sila number one in revision 3, 4, 5, 6 or something.
Girl.
So they revised it 7, 8 times. And people were really talking about Sila number one. It was the talk of all the Silas. People don't disagree with kemanusiaan yang adil dan beradab, persatuan Indonesia. No shit, kita mau persatuan Indonesia. Right? Jadi apa?
Ketuhanan dengan kewajiban menjalankan syariat Islam bagi para pemeluknya.
Tapi bagi para pemeluknya. So they have that little clause there.
Yeah. That's very
But
exclusive.
they had an agenda in Sila number one.
Yeah.
And Sukarno neutralized that agenda. So your props to Sukarno for doing that. But I'm guessing, right, if I was in that table in 1945, when they were revising this in 1942-45, I bet there were dudes there. Because some of them went to a university in Netherlands. I bet some dudes there were like, let's take out Sila number one, dude.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some were like, guys, I mean, religion is just, it should be a personal thing. It shouldn't be something controlled by the nation. Right? Because how many countries have a Kementerian Agama? Think about it. Ministry of Religion. Actually, a bunch do, but it's not. Google it. Kementerian Agama. To some people are like, why do you need a ministry for religion? Isn't religion our personal faith? Why is the country
I agree.
meddling into it?
100% agree. 100%. I think if the circumstances were that we were operating against a backdrop where religion, where everybody had the mutual understanding that religion is something that it should be held personal and not something that the government or anybody else should have authority over you. I feel like if we were operating off of that scenario, ooh. Oh, this really gonna get me canceled. No, you know what? Back to your question of back to whether or not I respect Sila number 1. I have my disagreements with it. Let's make this clear. I have my disagreements with, especially the English translation. Do you agree with the English translation?
I don't think that's right. That's the right translation. I don't think that's right.
But that's the official document. But that's the official.
They need to hire new people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. Number 1, I disagree with that interpretation of Sila number 1. I think it should be something different in English. Sila number 1 in Indonesian itself. It's more so. It's more the order on the list, perhaps.
Oh.
The order on
so
the
if
list.
it was number 3 or 4 or 5, you don't think that's a problem?
I feel like it could be number 2. I feel like it could be maybe. I'm just exploring ideas here. Allegedly. Allegedly. I'm just exploring
But I love
ideas
it.
here. Like, I don't know. There is a certain, I'm not gonna lie.
No, you're right.
There's a certain gripe I have. I'm just trying
You're right.
to word
If
it.
you're born as an Indonesian and you have an Indonesian passport,
Yeah.
you have to abide to the Pancasila.
Abide.
Right? Whether you agree with it or you disagree with it,
I think it's more
you have to
so.
abide Pancasila.
Sorry to cut you off, but I think it's more so the way that Sila 1 manifests in real life is our KTP agama. How many national IDs
None.
include agama except for
None,
us?
dude.
You know what I mean?
None.
So I think it's more so. Put it this way. I feel like beyond just why the hell do you need to know my religion on my national ID card? But I think it's also like the option to opt out of it because I think it's more so the question, and this is a genuine good faith question I'm asking here. Does Sila number 1 leave space and room for people that are religiously apathetic? Isn't it your right to be religiously apathetic? I have an agama KTP. Me personally, this applies to me. I have an agama KTP, which is Buddhism. I don't give a shit about Buddhism. I really don't. I don't practice it. I don't follow it. Nothing. Sorry, Mom. I don't. Is that my right? And does Sila number 1 accommodate that right?
I don't think it accommodates that right. But I think you have the right to be apathetic to your own. Oh, shit, wait. Did you say right?
Do I
Did you
have
say
the
right? Oh,
I said
shoot.
right. Do I have the right to be religiously apathetic?
Because rights, it has something to do with law, right? Or no. Human rights is not in the law. Is it?
Is Sila the law?
Yeah. It's the foundation of the law.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the foundation of.
So it's
So
yeah.
Pancasila, Undang-Undang Dasar, these are all the foundations of all the laws coming in.
So I'm using the right word. My
Yeah.
right. Is it my right to be religiously apathetic? I love this episode.
I guess it is not your right.
It's not my right.
Ketuhanan yang Maha
Based
Esa.
off of Sila 1, right?
Ketuhanan yang Maha Esa.
Based
yeah.
off of Sila 1, right?
Yeah, it's not in your rights to be.
Do you think it should be? Should. Do you think it should be?
In the constructs of a country, you can't be.
Mm.
But as a global citizen, you can. See, that's what's fucked up. It's
Interesting.
the foundation of a country.
Mm.
Pancasila gitu. Jadi kayak, look,
Am I really that important? Like one person's important to the foundation
maybe
of the country?
what's crazy is,
yeah.
you know what's crazy?
What?
If one day you told the smartest Gen Zs in Indonesia
Mm-hmm.
and the smartest Gen Alphas of Indonesia
Uh-huh.
to make a revision to Pancasila to see what they will write as the 5 foundations of this country.
Which, by the way, I
Let's
don't
see,
know.
the smartest kids, yeah?
Uh-huh.
They all went to uni all around the world, even the best unis here.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 of them come together, talk about let's revise Pancasila. Let's see what they write. Because this was so 1942, 1945.
Yep. Boomer coded. No, I'm kidding.
Did they really think about 2024 rise of AI, rise of gender pronouns, They didn't think of that. They didn't think of that in 1942, 45.
Jauh sekali kamu.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't think someone's going to be a Z-them, they, them, right? They didn't think of that.
Zezizer. Yeah.
So, it's fun. It's a fun experiment. What if you gave Gen Zs and Alphas, the smartest ones,
Yep.
not the IQ 78 ones,
Yeah.
right? To revise Pancasila.
IQ test them. Yep. So I'm convinced. Or if you clench your ass cheeks for this one. If you left it up to the kan kita Gen Z ya.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about Gen Z. Let's Gen A. If you left it to Gen Alpha, you're like, hey, we want to know, since you guys are the future generation of Indonesia, here, how would you want the Pancasila to be? You write it,
Or reorder it.
rewrite it, reorder it, flip it, twist it, turn it, whatever. Sila number 1 wouldn't be on it. I think.
Damn.
Sila number 1 wouldn't be on it. The current Sila
Damn.
number 1, Katuanan Mahasa, it's not going to be on it. If you left it up to the Gen A. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it. That
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
It's how they're brought up. It's the internet culture. Yeah.
Well, that and just like religious apathy, completely different conversation, but religious apathy is decreasing. I mean,
Yeah, it's decreasing.
religious apathy is increasing, as in to say adherence to religion is decreasing.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Will Pancasila uphold its values in 2145? 2245?
Aww.
In 100 years? Right?
Mm.
And that's Pancasila. Or what
Mm-hmm.
the other stuff that's been around
Oh my
for 100
gosh. You know what?
Yo,
Oh my gosh.
right? Because if you bring it to our real life, right?
Yeah.
Imagine Indonesians in 2145 and they're like, oh, sila 1 sampai 5 ini. But
But
that's not what we think right now in 2145.
in 2145, like seeing the current trend of religious apathy increasing, what happens when in 2045, literally everybody just decides God is no longer relevant. Religion is no longer a thing. They're going to have to change the Pancasila, no?
But you know what's crazy? I think that will
Happen?
not happen in Indonesia.
See, because, religious
Indonesia,
apathy.
By history,
Yeah.
has always been the most mystical place on earth.
Because religious apathy is increasing worldwide and Western. In the
Yeah.
Western side of the world, it's definitely happening, but I don't have data on the East.
Dude, you should really read out the history on why they built Borobudur. I'm not kidding.
Because I'm Buddhist?
You should really read it.
Okay.
Someone just felt,
Yeah.
back in the day,
Yeah.
1400 years ago,
Yeah.
this was the most magical and spiritual place of his life. So they had to build it there. So Indonesia as a whole
Uh-huh.
is very like mystical, very divinity stuff. Like it's very fifth dimension. That's Indonesia. Cerita paling laku di sini cerita horror.
For a goddamn good
People
reason.
love it when they're scared. Ada yang aneh, ada yang mistis, misterius.
Ada yang kesurupan. I'm kidding.
Exactly. It's very Indonesia.
I
It's
get.
It's what makes Indonesia,
I
in my
guess.
opinion. And it's been repeating that like that in history. The oldest pyramid in the world
Giza?
is in Indonesia.
Wait, which one?
Gunung Padang. You should really research this.
Oh.
So all these religious artifacts in the world,
yeah.
they're all here.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So when you
I
say
believe it.
if we can take out the equation of or religion's
Mhm,
influence in Indonesia, it's impossible. It's like in the DNA of this nation.
I'm not so confident and bold to say that it is impossible, but I do think, me personally, I think it's unlikely. I think it is unlikely to happen that Indonesian society, like in 2145 or fucking 3025.
Holy, wow.
Yeah, I don't think it is likely that even in like 2145,
That they will care about
3025,
Pancasila.
that they will, no, that Indonesian society as a majority becomes so religiously apathetic to the extent where Sila number 1 is no longer relevant. I think it is unlikely, and I think that's where you and I agree. right? You think that's unlikely to ever happen, right? Because you're
Unlikely. Yeah.
unlikely. But I wouldn't say I would not say it is impossible. Everything's possible.
You should really read up
Yeah.
on the history of Indonesia.
Yeah.
Because living abroad, blah, 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 I really wanted to know more about Indonesia.
Mm.
I read this book, A Brief History on Indonesia. It's a very famous book. You go to Kinokuniya, Periplus, it's everywhere.
Okay.
Read it.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
Mm.
It is probably the most mystical place on earth.
Mm.
From the beginning
From
of
the
time.
very beginning of time. Huh?
But you know why? You know why?
Yeah.
If you want to connect it with science.
Mm.
Because since day one in Indonesia, any plant or seed that you throw to the ground has always survived.
Mm.
That's why all of our ancestors, all people 5,000 years ago, always thought this was a magical place.
Mm.
Because when you threw seeds and plants in Denmark, in the winter it dies. In Japan, there's a winter, it dies.
Yeah.
In Australia, it's the desert.
Yeah.
So why do they always call it the magical land?
Mm.
All types of agriculture grows in Indonesia.
We're fertile. Yeah.
Exactly.
Soil's
That's why
fertile.
everyone's always like, we always have to thank the gods for Indonesia.
Yeah.
Because in Indonesia, our food is always there.
Yup.
And that begs the question, why are we importing rice? Okay, this is a whole different episode. This is a whole, right? This is messed up. Why are we buying food from other nations? Messed up. But like,
Jokowi, fix it.
he only has 3 months left. It's Mr. Prabo.
Prabowo, fix it.
It is, yeah.
Fix it.
Yeah. I really think the G show is necessary in our online discourse.
Oh shucks.
I mean it. You know, I've been in content creating 14 years. Every time a show like this comes up, oh God, nggak bisa diginiin ya? Nggak bisa diginiin ya? I'm just saying, it is important. A lot of people hate it.
Oh yeah. That's obvious.
But people need to realize that sometimes hate
Mm-hmm.
comes from a place of misunderstanding. It's maybe because you don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe once you understand it, the hate will disappear.
Yeah. I'm just waiting
Open talks, open dialogues like this are needed.
Yeah.
Or else we're all just gonna have closed dialogues where people just talk about that topic all the time, speaking safely upon it.
Mm-hmm.
Ease will never advance you.
Exactly. So Indonesian government, if you care about progressing this country forward, don't send me to jail. Don't send me to jail.
Yeah.
I have a mother to take care of, please.
He's passing his legacy on to you.
Fearless, intelligent Indonesian. Damn, he used to watch my channel.
Oh yeah.
Damn, he knows.
Oh, that way. That's what's going on right now. You pass it.
That's the ending. That's the ending of my YouTube. So that's how we started.
Mm-hmm.
The end is always fearless, intelligent Indonesian. And I always thought about that like hard.
Mm.
But once you read the online comments and you see that people don't really understand you through time, you get weaker.
Mm-hmm.
The fearlessness. See, I see a lot of fearlessness in you when you talk screw number 1 Pancasila. Right?
Yeah.
But you keep this energy for the next 5 years and you get constantly attacked. I hope that you do not lose your fearlessness. I really hope you don't. Because it gets to you.
Mm.
You know, when for 5 years people are like, oh, you're shit. You talk too much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, lu bule, diam aja lu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, lu karena lu besar di luar, ini nggak berlaku di Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
But they watch Korean pop. That doesn't make sense. Itu kan dari luar negeri juga.
Mm-hmm.
Kayak don't filter out apa yang lu mau dan gak mau dari luar negeri gitu.
Mm-hmm.
You accept everything.
Yup.
Gitu. Jadi ya, stay fearless. Intelligent? Yeah, stay intelligent. I always want everyone to be intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
But the last one is fearless, intelligent, Indonesian.
Mm.
I was gonna do proud, but then it becomes FPI. So I was like, let's do a fearless, intelligent. Right? I was gonna... But the Indonesian part is so important though.
Mm.
It is.
Yeah.
Read on our country's history, then you'll understand us more. I guess that's it.
That's something that I have been, besides just the Indonesian language skills, which everybody knows is utterly fucking dog shit. Like, besides just the language skills, I've been trying to work on like cultural context, which also like encapsulates like historical context as well. Like, yeah, no, I agree. I'll work on it.
But culturally, it's very hard. This is another topic. It's extremely hard.
And I guess that is it for this episode, you guys. This is Jovial. Polarisasi Musikal 2.
Oh yeah, coming up.
Coming up.
Coming up. Watch, guys. October.
Okay. Info down below. Send me the info.
Okay.
Info down below. And yeah, that's it. Be sure to like, comment, and fucking subscribe, you cunts. Bye!
But oh,
Kan lu gak makan, lu pasti lapar lah.
man, how do I turn off the camera?
Astagfirullahaladzim.